From the dawn of time we came, moving silently through the centuries, living many secret lives, struggling to reach the time of the stream, when the few who will remain will battle to the last. No one has ever known we were among you. Until now! Hello, Sharky. Hello, Johnny. It feels like it's been 100 years.
Here we are, born to be kings. We're the streamers of the universe.
And hello,
Can
Johnny.
it have me freedom?
Ah, there we go. Welcome, one and all. Welcome to the Bad Game Hall of Fame. Welcome to Highlander, the last of the MacLeods. This is the show in which we play Highlander, the last of the MacLeods.
Now, I have expended all of my references to Highlander with that Queen quote.
And I've expended all mine. How about you, Johnny? You got anything left in the bag?
Shithead? What's a shithead?
Very good. We're off to a rip-roaring start. So obviously, this is based on the Highlander series of films, but specifically the animated TV show, the children's cartoon show Highlander, which is a thing.
Do people get their heads cut off in the cartoon, or do they just, like, get a karate chop in the neck and they're like, oh, owie, oh, I'll get you next time, MacLeod?
That's a good goddamn question. I wouldn't know because I've never watched this cartoon. So as you can tell, we are the experts most appropriate to cover this game here on the Bad Game Hall of Fame. This one's been a while coming. One I've been interested in finally getting to play for myself for many a year. This is a game initially released October 30th, that's my birthday, 1995 in North America, and sometime in November 1995 over in Europe, exclusively for the Atari Jaguar CD add-on peripheral, developed by Lore Design, published by Atari Corporation. If you've seen this game on MS-DOS, yes, there was a planned conversion of this game, port of this game to DOS. I think a prototype of it leaked out some time ago, but never officially released on DOS. And for a while, that was the only way you could attempt to play this game, because the Atari Jaguar CD is an elusive thing. And even if you can find one, there's no guarantee it works, as the angry video game nerd so helpfully pointed out in a video some time ago. The trials and tribulations of trying to get an Atari Jaguar CD to work. And of course, emulation for the Atari Jaguar was also a non-factor for the longest time, up until a few years ago when one Rich Whitehouse put together Big P emulator, resulting from his work on the Atari 50 compilation and getting Jaguar emulation up and running in that, and then sought to bring it to the people. So now we have 100% perfectly compatible Atari Jaguar emulation along with Atari Jaguar CD support, and the time has come. There can only be one Atari Jaguar emulator, and this is one we'll be using tonight.
That's a thing about Highlander. Now, I've never seen Highlander. I have very slight cultural osmosis in terms of, like, my knowledge of what Highlander is. But I feel like for a movie where the premise is, like, there can be only one, and the movie ends with someone becoming the one, I don't know how that then goes to spawn a total of 5 movies.
Yep.
two television series, a web series, an animated series, and a separate made-for-TV film.
Oh, well, I can say, as someone who has seen the first film, yes, you're right. That is confusing, because that film does end pretty conclusively. So
I remember seeing
I'm curious to see the second one sometime, because, yeah.
I should note I have seen the first. I think I saw the second, and I only remember like a grand total of 2 scenes from it. Wasn't very good. The first Highlander, not particularly good. I can't imagine the 3rd, 4th, and 5th movies being any good. I can't imagine this animated series being any good, and I certainly can't imagine this Atari Jaguar CD game being particularly good either.
What about the ZX Spectrum Highlander game?
That one sucks too. I actually know that one offhand does in fact suck. It's actually quite infamous. I think it was released in a state where it was uncompletable. Where there
a
was
specky game turned out subpar.
Yeah, I know, perish the thought. We're going to dive into this game just a little bit, this action-adventure, emphasis on the adventure. This will be my first time playing through it. I've been saving myself for this. Something I knew I wanted to cover in some capacity, and I wanted to keep myself clean, unsullied. I wanted to keep myself in the dark on this one. So this will be one of them blind playthroughs. I know like very little bits and pieces about this. I know the way it looks. I know the way vaguely it plays. But I am excited to get hands-on and to also toss it to you two at intermittent points as the occasion calls for. So thank you, folk, for tuning into this one, for voting on this one. This was the winner of a patron poll to determine what game we'd be playing on this particular Thursday and potentially the next one. Who knows how long this will go on for. I think it's relatively short, though. Mercifully short, one might say. So yeah, just a reminder that people who voted for this did so on our Discord server, discord.gg/bghof, in the Patreon Saints channel, accessible to all those who subscribe here on Twitch, pledge on Patreon, are members on YouTube. So again, your faults. And you know what else I can assign blame for is Charky.
Blame?
Yeah. I have you to blame for my craving for your stream snack.
Well, you may be craving what I'm about to tell you, because tonight's stream snack is the Butterfinger ice cream bar.
Ooh, yeah, I'm craving all right.
It is a Butterfinger flavored ice cream with a crunchy Butterfinger layer and chocolatey coating. So it's interesting. It's good. Yeah, it is pretty good. There is like a top layer of what looks like the Butterfinger insides, kind of that crispy inside they got, but it's really not crispy. It's more of a gritty kind of feel to it, but not in a bad way. It just has enough of a texture to it that you're getting something different than just the creamy ice cream. So it's not just like a peanut butter layer or a gooey or soft peanut butter layer. It does have some like toothsomeness to it when you bite into it, but it's not particularly hard. Like, I was worried that it was going to be very hard to bite into, like if you froze a Butterfinger, but it's not. It also doesn't stick to your teeth like a normal Butterfinger does. So it's nice. It feels nice. It tastes nice. It's very, very peanut buttery, although I've had a lot of peanut in my diet lately, so I'm starting to get a little sick of that particular taste.
And if you let the ice cream melt, it becomes a delicious drink as well, I hear.
It does, yeah. Like, it turns into a very small Butterfinger milkshake. Tonight's drink is Rockstar. Just a plain Rockstar, which I have not had in probably over a decade. So, you know what? I usually have like the really flavored energy drinks on the show. This is one of the only times I've had an energy drink that is not like a flavored energy drink. It is from the days when they didn't realize quite yet that, oh, we can make this taste like fruits and desserts. So let us give this normal Rockstar a taste.
And after you've done sipped it, let me know if it makes you feel like you want to be a big rock star, live in hilltop houses, drive 15 cars at all.
No, it tastes kind of. Yeah, okay, I can taste the taurine a little bit. It's not as heavy as like it's not as heavy as a Red Bull. But it almost tastes like bubblegum. Like a very low sugar kind of taste, but it's vaguely like bubblegum, like the kind of bubblegum flavor that's like not actually what bubblegum tastes like. When you have something that says, oh, this tastes like bubblegum, it tastes like that, and not real bubblegum, if you get what I mean.
I'm picking up what you're laying down.
Yeah, it's it tastes sweeter than a Red Bull. Maybe because it has that bubblegum flavor that's tricking me into thinking that this is particularly sweet, but Yeah, interesting. That's not the flavor I would have assumed. I would have assumed like more of a straight taurine kind of flavor. Cass and Johnny, what do y'all have?
Monster Energy.
Johnny.
Yep, I got my mocha. And if I need it, I've got some fruit and a pork stick.
A pork stick.
That's a full meal right there.
Well, not like a pork chop. It's just one of those little.
Yeah, but you got
Protein
fruits, you got
sticks.
meats, you got.
Was it like a Slim Jim kind of a thing?
Yeah, basically. Yeah, kind of like a Slim Jim. Yeah. I did not bring a cornucopia to put it all in, though. Unfortunately.
No, I used to when I had to travel, between cities years and years ago, like every week. I would stop at the gas station and get, some snacks, and sometimes I would get like a Slim Jim, like the Tabasco Slim Jims, real good. But sometimes I would get the ones that was like the meat stick and the cheese next to each other, and I stopped doing that at some point because, man, that's like the get on the freeway to Sickville.
Descend directly into food hell.
Yeah, just getting your cheese packaged in with your greasy meat sticks. And with that phrase, I think that'll do it for the stream snack.
I think it will. And that'll do it for the intro segment. I didn't go and prepare a history for this. I'm sorry. I think there is actually some interesting development insights into this as well that I just neglected. It seemed like it anyway from reading the Wikipedia article. Not super well sourced. There wasn't like too much external reading I could do on it, but it does look like this was developed under duress, as so many Atari Jaguar games were. There was issues with money, issues with Atari, issues with wondering if the game would ever actually come out even after it was completed. Stuff like that, typical Atari Jaguar business.
Issues with the hardware even like working long enough for a game to run on it, from what I understand.
Yeah. Well, we won't have to worry about any of that as we boot up our trusty Big P Emu and get this game underway. Oh boy. Some lovely CG out the gate, can I just say. You can really appreciate every blade of grass on this hill.
Now, is this how the cartoon looked?
No, I believe the cartoon was 2D animated, and I believe we will be getting some Cinepacked cutscenes, clips from the show, which I'm sure will not trigger any sort of copyright detection bot. I mean, who would be enforcing copyright for fucking Highlander, the animated series?
I don't know. People enforce copyright for things they don't even own. So, just some bored dude. Maybe that guy who is enforcing copyright on...
Since the Earth plunged into darkness, 7 centuries since the Jetitor swore to regain for man his lost knowledge and freedom.
Yeah, we're just going to talk over this at different points, by the way, to further avoid that copyright bot. No subtitles, I'm so sorry.
I'm saying maybe, was that the Monarch?
Wow, he is.
Maybe that guy who, like, is enforcing copyright on all those soundtracks of Japanese games by saying he's someone's son, even though he's not. Probably not. And, like, also is claiming that he's a soldier, even though he's not. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes, I know who you're talking about. By the way, if you're wondering what all the blinking lights at the bottom of the screen are, I do believe that is, like, indication of the color palette currently being played during cutscene. Because, it's alternating on a per-frame basis what palette it's using. It's swapping the palette in and out to facilitate as many colors as there are on the screen. Is this going to loop?
Would that be part of the overscan if you were doing this in the CRT, or...?
No, because look now. That's just how the FMVs work, I believe. Alright, let's see if they have Scottish language here. Let's see if they have Gaelic. Nah. I know Gaelic is not Scottish language. No options here. Who needs them?
They got it perfect right out the gate.
This game has a lot of controls.
Not as many as you'd think. I mean, it doesn't use the numpad, mercifully.
I'll rephrase it. It has a lot of modes of play.
Did my searchlights dim?
It's the slaves, Lord Cortan.
There aren't enough of them. Then Arak must find more, wherever he can.
So this isn't the Kurgan, I take it.
To the Highlands.
This ain't Clancy
you want-
Brown.
You want to know the plot? As that dude is in a Red Hot Chili Peppers cover band.
Oh. Millie in chat says, why is this animated like nice X-Men? That's what it looks like. I was trying to... I couldn't put my finger on it.
Well, it is a 90s cartoon.
Eternal power.
Yeah, it is very 90s.
Eternal power to Cortan.
Eternal power to Cortan.
Eternal power.
While this cartoon footage is playing, would you like me to give you the backstory as given by the manual?
I think we're about to get it from the cutscene. I would
We're gonna have to
assume the
talk-
cutscene is... We don't have to talk over every frame of it.
Hurry, Mother. We have to get to...
Okay, the thing is,
No, Quentin.
there's a lot of backstory.
Run away.
We'll get into it in gameplay. I think there's gonna be a lot of dry spells during gameplay.
Quentin MacLeod.
I'm just gonna say it. I don't like Quinton's hair here.
Because that's
He's got like short spiky hair and a ponytail.
And his hair's so red it's flaming right now.
Obey your mother.
Oh no, that part I like. Just it's like it's a even worse than a mullet.
Woman, I'll take care of this brave champion here.
No! Let go of her! Murderer!
So I think we did talk over the mother saying, "You're not actually my son. Someone dropped me off. Your actual name is this." So that's what we've missed.
Ah, so this is MacLeod.
Ashens asks, "Is that a Jedi Padawan haircut?"
The list.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Qui-Gon Jinn
Yeah.
took inspo. George Lucas clearly watched the Highlander cartoon, and
This is a present from me to you.
it is where he gets brutally decapitated on this children's cartoon show.
At last.
A kid got killed at last.
This moment. Quite a long time, I have to say.
Looks just like Sean Connery.
Village and his life have
Oh boy!
his mother murdered and his sister and clan captured by the hunters of Magonda. Quentin MacLeod is alone. He must find a way to rescue the Dundees and fulfill his destiny.
Wow, seamless. Someone read Gascan's comment, because I think
Yep.
we just get
I'll
tossed
read
straight
it.
into gameplay here.
Yep.
Thank you for the 50 bits, Gascon. Saying, my brother insisted on watching the show every time it came on. And as a child, I don't think I hated a cartoon more. So I haven't seen the movie. This setting is already confusing me because I can't tell what time here this is set in, that they have tanks, but they live in rural places and they use swords still. Because that's not what the movie's like at all.
Okay, so initial observations, just right out the gate, getting thrown into our first fight straight away. So tank controls,
Ah, my beloved.
fixed cameras.
My cherished.
Are they all gonna be this zoomed out? Did they
No, we
deliberately
can zoom out more.
Did they draw the cameras back so that we wouldn't see how poorly detailed the textures are on the characters? Oh, the loads between different screens here.
Now, John, you were confused about the setting. Well, see, now this is why I wanted to say the backstory of the game as listed in the manual. Because, you see, 7 centuries ago, a large meteor struck to Earth. The shockwaves
This
from
is a
the
present
resultant
from me to
explosion.
you.
Thank you for the subscription, Ashens. The shockwave from the explosion caused the premature detonation of a large percentage of the world's nuclear weapons stockpile. So this is 700 years after the destruction of current civilization. So this
Great
is,
fucking map.
Oh,
Super
okay.
usure here.
Okay.
Jesus Christ, looks
So
like a cookie.
like a Horizon Zero Dawn
Yes.
situation. Okay.
Yeah, we are very far post-apocalyptic in this.
Ashens does say that fixed cameras that instantly change your orientation are the tool of the devil, which, yes, agree. I'm not a tank control hater. I brought Johnny on because I know they are also not a tank control hater. Charky is a tank control hater.
Yes, you brought me on because I am the tank control hater.
Oh, sick jump kick though.
Let me try some other moves. I don't know if you can tell, I'm uppercutting right now. Camera's a little far back.
Yeah.
All right, so it looks like we have kick, uppercut, punch. I know if I hold backwards, I believe that unlocks some different moves, some variations. Are these orders going to be any different? Nope. Eternal power to Corden. Ooh, a bottle. Is there a message in it? Traditional restorative.
Okay, so when the world ended, there were also the immortals, right? And they were like, we're not going to fight anymore. We're all going to be friends and help humanity rebuild. Cortand, the guy who looks like Monarch from Venture Brothers, he was like, actually, y'all are chumps. I'm going to be the one. And since everyone else was like,
Wait,
we're not going to
Cinema.
fight anymore. Well, I give up.
Why are they trying to say it?
Really? That was it?
Cass
Oh,
was
look at this close up. Oh boy.
100% right there, Cass. Absolute cinema on that.
I am a 16-year-old boy. This is what a 16-year-old looks like.
Oh no, what did we get ourselves into? Oh shit.
Chiseled jawline though. Look at that.
Oh my god, this music loop too. Is that a grand total of 8 notes? Is that?
It'd be perfect to sample though.
Use that as a show intro.
Yeah, I can imagine a Wu-Tang song going real sick with this beat. I can imagine RZA making something out of this. Hot damn.
Well, speaking of just giving up, Cortan was the one immortal who was like, you know what, I'm gonna take over the world because I'm immortal. Fuck y'all. And literally none of the other immortals could fight him because they all took a vow to not fight anymore. So they just gave up. And they're like, well, eventually probably another immortal will be born, right? That person can stop him. So Cortan took over the world, built the big city, and then our hero is born, and because he technically never took the vow, he's the only one who can actually do a goddamn thing. And so we're off to a good start in terms of him being the one to end the evil. Since he seems to be flummoxed by crates and boxes.
Yeah, this is
a
dire.
magical vow. I'm gonna assume that's a magical vow, not like a honor system vow, I guess.
Well, they did take the vow on top of a place known as the Hill of Oaths. So, I mean, that's extra official.
Yeah.
Oh, please tell me that's a sword. Please tell me that's a weapon. Oh, just a wooden stick. Just a fucking wooden stick, of course. Seasoned Highland Oak.
You start Silent Hill with a wooden stick.
Your fists, a barely adequate weapon, I'll fucking say. I think we have 2 copies of the Village Hunter Orders. We got this bottle, we got some bread, a map of the village, we got some bread, a wooden stick.
Wait.
Can I use? Can't use that
No.
here. Silly man.
Very clear about it, at least.
Oh, here we
Also,
go. Taika Kimura confirms the wiki for the anime too. It says anyone who breaks the oath is destined to die. So yeah, there is magic.
Oh no, you'll die.
Like, well, their whole gimmick is that they don't die unless someone kills them.
Well, I could save the world. I could save all of humanity who we swore to protect. Or I could just stay alive forever.
Watch.
Uh-oh.
You need to equip your stick?
No, you can't equip the stick.
Alright, so you do have dodges, by the way.
I could be wrong on this, but I think some of this animation might be using really early motion capture.
Oh, I think I found my dodge. You have to hold the button down.
Yes.
If you tap a button, it cancels whatever animation you're trying to do, and we're dead.
Ah, so you're saying
good thing you're immortal, right?
It's confusing. It's not that they're immortal, it's that they just aging's not a problem. Or like disease, I think. but anything physical.
Oh, this will probably do it.
Yeah.
You have a bad feeling about this one. Long game over screen.
And thus passed away Quentin MacLeod, and with him went the hopes and dreams of the Jetters, and the last chance for the salvation of the human race. Although I suppose we could always wait 7 centuries for another immortal to be born.
I liked all the runes.
Find
I'm getting
out in
picked up
Last of the
there.
MacLeods 2.
And back to the title screen because we didn't save the game, so
Okay.
oopsies.
So, when you're dodging, when you're standing still, it's hold a button and down to dodge, but A is dodge left, B is dodge right, and C is jump back. And you do move at the speed of molasses, so...
Mm-hmm.
Every attack has such a major wind-up.
Yep.
You also have different attacks if you're walking, and you have different attacks if you're running.
Oh, sweep the leg, sweep the leg! Oh
I could be
my
remembering wrong.
god.
I think maybe the immortals can only they can hurt each other. That might be the rule.
Well, I
am
mean,
I
you're
gonna
getting
die?
hurt, and I don't think this guy is immortal.
Yeah. They're playing fast and loose with it. Yay!
All it takes is one kick, but landing that kick, easier said than fucking done.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm gonna have to eat this bread. At least it heals more than a narc.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, do we have an animation for eating the bread? We can't just pop a bunch of breads in our inventory if we're in the middle of a fight or what have you?
This is a cinematic experience.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's a Cinepack experience.
Yeah. So I will mention, you know, because this is going quite far back in this kind of style of game history, this would have been when Alone in the Dark was the standard for this style of game. You know, this predates Resident Evil 1. The contemporaries at the time would have been this. Dr. Hauser, probably.
Yeah.
What?
I think Bifrost maybe would have been a few years later.
But, you know, this style of...
Yeah. I'm going to say right off the back, the camera cuts make... Because I'm going to defend camera cuts in these games, but these are bad camera cuts.
It's just, there's too many. There's
yeah, they
too
don't
many
make
shots.
Any sense.
And also, like, here's
Like,
another thing. We're talking about games. A lot of those games you mentioned are those early 3D games with these tank controls and pre-rendered environments. Happen to be survival horror games. And a lot of survival horror type stuff, or just horror stuff in general, generally takes place inside, where you can easily control where the player is being steered and directed towards. Not so much in an open fucking field. Not so much when the camera is this fucking far out and there's so many directions you could theoretically go and just... Ugh.
Yeah. You know, there's a reason why, you know, like when RPGs would do the pre-rendered backgrounds, they would just do 2D controls and then it would just go to a load screen when you hit the edge. Or you know, scroll the image.
Since we're being frustrated with how this game is controlling and looking and perceiving and all that stuff right now, I would like to make a complaint about controls that we haven't even seen yet. Because I'm looking at how sword fighting works.
Can I just back out of this?
Yeah.
Oh,
No, you're backing out again because isn't that supposed to be the benefit of tank controls? That you will keep moving in the thing that you went through?
I can't
that's
fucking
bad
believe the
design.
game did that. That is beyond the pale. That is so rude.
I wonder if it was intentional of, oh, well, if they're coming out the door, they'll want to be facing forward, or if just literally we cannot program multiple directions they come out. They'll always have to be facing out, and that's why that happened. Wow, we do have options. Look at that.
There's supposed to be a way to save your game on the screen. There we go.
There you go.
Application file name. Oh, application Highlander 1. This was supposed to be the first in a trilogy. That's why it's called Highlander 1 here. It was meant to be 3 games. That didn't fucking happen. And this would save to what is called a memory track. That was the Jaguar's memory card. Game.
Okay.
We have 5 save slots.
Okay, so when you get a sword eventually. I'm gonna say theoretically at this point, because theoretically you'd have to get past this to get a sword.
Oh my god, we just can't go in there. We just can't go in there. It's done.
Yeah.
We blew it. We're never allowed back
Yeah.
in there. I'm gonna try.
Well, good news, you're in here. Bad news, your corpse is in here.
Let me load.
I feel like this save is fucked to begin with.
Yeah, you might be right. Oh, this is great. Good to know we have the ability to reconfigure that. Nope,
Right.
give me... I think there's a numpad button that just takes you back to the title screen and restarts the game, too. I think that's one of the handful. Let me see if I can just cheese... Yeah, okay.
Oh, that's so brutal.
Speaking of cheese! I didn't know. I had no
Yeah.
idea. That's pure dumb luck. That's just fortune favoring the bold. If I eat this cheese, I'm going to get stabbed in the fucking back. So I'm just going to file that away for now.
Oh, this apparently has pro controller support.
Oh, I got a kick in. Come on.
I think you were also just stuck there.
Okay.
Yeah, you know,
So-
let's do a clean one, because that is fucked. All right, 3rd time's the charm. Does anyone else want to give it a shot, by the way?
No, but I would like to say the thing I've been trying to say for 5 minutes.
I can't help you there. Shit's moving fast in this game.
That once you eventually get a sword, right? You have your dodge right now, which is hold A, B, C, and like hit down. Once you get a sword, if you want to parry to the left, you have to hold A and down. Parry to the right is B and down. On a Jaguar controller, if I remember correctly, A is the button all the way to the right,
Yes.
and B is to the left. But to the left is parry to the right. But even then, this is a fucking tank control game. So, it just depends on which way you're looking. But even then, parry to the left and right is only if you're running with a sword. If you're doing anything else with a sword, A is parry to the left, and B is parry overhead, and you no longer can parry to the right.
I'm sure this will make a lot more sense, and I'll
No, it
understand
won't.
when
It
we have
won't.
the sword.
I swear to you, I can promise you that the controls of this game will never make sense.
Yeah. Okay. So I hadn't actually seen what the Pro Controller was. So now looking at it it adds. It's like the
It
six
adds
button-
XYZ, yeah.
Yeah, it's XYZ and triggers.
Yeah, and
So I
apparently
would be curious
XYZ
if that makes if that makes the
XYZ
controls-
are shortcuts for the defensive movements.
Oh, okay. Yeah, maybe that does make it a little.
And the left
Yeah.
and right finger fingertip buttons. I thought I said finger flip. The fingertip buttons are to rotate, which I mean, you're already on the fucking D-pad. Like, why would you?
Yeah, it's an interesting way to handle it.
This is the stick cut, right? Okay.
Yep. I can always see having looked in some of these huts, having these multiple camera carts, when they have one item in them, they could have just done one, and they would have been fine.
Okay.
But Slime Generator asks, do you think human people developed this?
No, Human Entertainment's a different studio. They did Clock Tower. Oh, God. Use the option button to menu.
Hmm.
C button here. It's great that the pause menu doesn't just, like, tell you, like, what button. You just have to read the manual to know that. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me try to explain this. Pause button. Now I press, just apropos of nothing. If I press B, we bring up the effects volume. If I press A, it brings up music volume. If I press select again, it gives us reconfigure controls. If I press C, it brings up the save menu. And to access options in this, I need to use the select button, which is, I think, it has a different name on the control. The option button. Yeah. Okay.
Yes, there's an entire section of the manual devoted to telling you how to use the pause menu.
They could have just had a menu on the pause menu.
I don't think
By the way,
I've ever seen a game handle it like that.
I do also have here the numpad buttons to restart the game if you ever need that or want that. If you even have them binded.
I do have the numpad buttons, but I can't. Hey, game, I can't see.
So this is every tank control game in my mind. Like, this is my perception of what a tank control game is.
Load game. Oh boy. Now, do you think, like, we're meant to have a weapon at this point before we take on these guys inside the huts? Because they're so tough.
Yeah, I'm kind of curious if this is they want you to be avoiding most enemies.
Oh wait.
Oh yeah, sweep the leg always works.
Oh my god, I found my fucking move. And if you let go, you can animation cancel.
Yeah. See, this has actually got huge tech.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, that...
I wonder if he's actually taking damage from this.
Yeah. That's why I'm starting to wonder if this is a move that technically doesn't hurt, it just staggers.
That, or if this guy can be killed, or if he just exists to be invincible until you get the right thing.
Yeah. But I was wondering...
I like that flying crane kick.
Yeah. Beautifully captured. But yeah, it could be an intro segment where you aren't intended to win any of these fights, but it's just not very well communicated.
Oh, something in this game's not being well communicated?
Yeah, I'm starting to think this guy might be... he might have your number.
This might be the fastest I've ever been embittered on a game. For this stream.
I'm too stubborn to quit. There can only be one.
Folks, tune in for episode 2 of...
This is... obscene.
I am 100% positive you're supposed to have a sword.
Yes,
like,
I did it!
got
Fuck
him.
all y'all!
You got him, but
Yeah.
I'm 100% positive you weren't supposed to.
If I was a betting man, I would have bet that was an invincible enemy and lost that bet because that was ridiculous.
And now we just casually eat a
Ooh,
3-course
yum.
meal here. Yeah.
I do like they have those little animations. I think for the time that would have surprised people.
I assume you can't take that axe because it looks pre-rendered.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
pre-rendered. I walked up to it. You don't have to interact with items. You just walk into them, and the game's like, "Hey, you want this?" Or you walk over corpses of enemies and like, "Hey, you want to pick this up? Does this look like
Looks like
something
you can pick that up.
That sounds like that could get real annoying later.
You would think wrong. That is pre-rendered. That is part of the environment.
Oh yeah, I see the issue. It's like it's pre-rendered, but it wasn't rendered with the rest of the image, so it looks slapped on top.
It looked like in those old like cartoons where something was colored completely differently. It was like, oh, that's good.
This was the cheese hut, the cheese and wine hut. Is that the front gate? Is that the gate to the village? Has it been?
I felt like I saw another gate.
Yeah.
Well, there's two gates. There's a front gate and a back gate.
Aha!
Let me just
My trusty sword.
Almost Bioforge.
Mother's locket. I pressed examine and this is happening.
Yeah, there's a cutscene inside the locket.
Hey, that's us.
Oh, that locket fucked me up.
Your destiny has arrived.
Well,
I'm
Now, Mom, you do it. Oh, okay.
Much time left, Quentin. So listen
How
carefully.
many fake
here,
outs
I
are
have
we
some
gonna get with her?
exposition to dump on you.
You are the chosen Highlander. The immortal awaited for 7 centuries. Although I loved you like my own, you are no Dundee. You are the last of the MacLeods. The stranger will come back for you.
Yes, your name is Crocodile MacLeod.
So go now and face your destiny. But first, save the Dundees from Cortan. And please remember to take care of your little sister.
But
Oh,
What?
instantly burned to a crisp.
yeah,
Oh, great. Yeah.
what you don't know is that in this universe, people become charcoal the moment they die.
It's the curse of the immortals.
Okay, I did want to check something quick. So, Chucky, you said you've not seen any of the films, correct?
Correct.
Have you seen Jet Li's The One?
No, I've not.
Ah, I was going
I'm
to say,
familiar with that movie.
because that's basically the good version of Highlander.
Like, that should have been a video game.
Oh, hell yeah.
It takes more camera cuts to get to the other side of the screen here than it takes for Liam Neeson to jump
Yeah.
a fucking fence. Just have one camera angle for the village. Maybe 2. Have it be top down.
Okay, I want to say, now that you're out here, I've seen multiple people play this game, and this is this is more than I've ever seen of this game.
Oh, it's occurred to me, I really should have saved.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Probably.
Holy
Well-trained
fuck.
soldiers, though.
I
soldiers
can't,
know what they're
Sound is
doing.
reset, by the way.
I can't fucking believe the gall of this game. Okay, let's not fight the guy in that hut, even though he is killable. Or the one in this hut either, even though they I would presume they are also killable. Let's get the food and let's save at the gate, and then we'll come back. We'll avenge our mother and sister or whatever when we have some form of fucking weapon. But
Avenge our briquette of a mother.
Did we confirm the wooden stick is not a equipable
not a weapon.
Okay.
This is the
Well, you see,
soundtrack to me losing my
Cordan-
mind.
Cordan has the sword, so at the end of the game, once you defeat him, you'll get the sword.
Oh,
and for
finally.
game 2, the sword will come in handy. You apparently also get a gas gun at some point in this game, according to the manual.
So let's just for the sake of making sure we're all in agreement here, this has to be one of the worst openings to a video game ever, right? This has to be in contention and this, like, least flattering, least sensible, shittiest ways to start off your video game, to toss players into the middle of it. Literally,
Yeah.
the first thing that happens, you boot game, a guy's running towards you. You haven't even had a chance to learn the controls yet.
Like I said,
no
I've seen multiple people play this game, and the fact that you left that gate puts you at the furthest I've ever seen anyone play this game. I don't think I've ever seen anyone manage the muster to get past just starting the game and being like, you know what, no.
Well, we will persist.
Yeah, we'll see how the whole game is, but yeah, I'm wondering if this is gonna have the design to be beatable by someone who designed the game kind of energy. Like if you didn't make the game, you don't know what to do kind of design.
Oh, boy.
Now, you go through the world and you get you kite every single soldier of Cortan, and then you jump over a pit and they all fall in.
Uh-oh. Oh, they figured out how to get on the bridge.
Yeah, I was wondering if they were gonna get hung up as well. Oh, now the frame rate's getting good as well. Yeah. What was that camera cut for? As much as I'll defend that, I do think fixed camera angle is a valid and interesting way to present games. I do think going back to stuff, I do think it took games quite a few years to actually understand a good way of doing it. Because when I look back at Even Alone in the Dark, like it took a while. Most of those games, I think, don't even implement it that well, and they're the ones that like popularized it.
I would just reload your save at this point because
Why?
you lost half your health to realize maybe I should have gone left.
We have so much cheese on us. I can heal anytime I want.
Hell yeah, use those cheese strats.
Huh?
What?
Pardon?
You know, as much as I like to defend developers, I think this game was made by assholes.
I have a theory because there was a very like sound. I have a theory that there was ranged weaponry you could not see in that area.
Entirely possible. Someone asked, is it only one save slot? It's 5, technically.
Now, we got a good question from the chat from Middlet again. I'm kind of new to this channel. How often do you just go, we can't finish this one?
We always finish what we start.
Unless we are like, we can't finish this one, pull up a YouTube video. Check out our playthrough of Wanted Dead.
Oh my god.
Yeah, that's me.
This is so fucking cruel and unusual.
Wombo combo.
I will say we almost always finish the games. Like we almost always carry through to the bitter end. But holy shit, this one! I would give up on this personally. Me, I would not have the wherewithal to continue playing this game.
Yeah, this is you know, I was talking at the beginning. I've known about this game for a while. I've heard legend. I could not have imagined it being this and being so fucking cruel and unusual.
Yep.
Okay. I hear gunshots.
Serpentine. Okay, so probably not this way.
Okay, so probably not this way either. Yeah, you're right.
Okay,
you're right.
Yep. This is totally gonna be a developer knew how to beat this. That's good enough, right?
We're running out of places to go here.
Yeah. Like pure trial and error, bang your head against the wall design.
Clyde's water wheel.
I remember Clyde's water wheel. It was animated just like it was yesterday.
Never. Not even of the hunters.
What the fuck is that animal?
I'm very strong, little sister.
Well, you know, 700 years after nuclear war does a hell of a lot to gerbils.
I do, sometimes. One scary dream. Always the same. And it happened for real before I started dreaming.
Is this actually what this game is? Is it finding tchotchkes that remind you of the TV show so you can watch clips of the TV show?
I think so.
Oh no, he's always had this terrible haircut.
Your name, child.
I like the look of that little fella's face.
I find it funny that our Sean Connery facsimile here are legally distinct. Considering he was supposed to be an Egyptian character in the film, they still went for the Sean Connery accent.
Well, it's about time. So
The Scotsman who doesn't know what haggis is.
Quentin of the
Yeah.
Highlands, sir.
Great cast in that film. Cast a French guy to play a Scottish
is that all?
warrior and a Scottish guy to play an Egyptian traveler.
The Dundee.
Who fucking plays the lead in that? What's his fucking name? Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Yeah, Christopher Lambert.
For you.
Yeah.
And for another.
Also, I'll admit, before I saw the film, I did not know the film Highlander and Braveheart were the same film in my head before I saw Highlander. I was very surprised when I watched it. Like, oh, okay, no, this is a very different film than I assumed.
Now, unless Clyde's water wheel is a weapon, we're still absolutely fucked here.
Oh, they got the forbidden corn dogs there as well. I'm glad those survived the apocalypse.
So Clyde's water wheel is such a weird trigger for that cutscene because it had nothing to do with anything other than, oh yeah, it fell off that one time I went into a story about another time when I was a kid.
Yeah.
I noticed this.
I can't tell if
time
that's
over here.
yeah.
Wooden plank.
That's what I thought. I thought that was a wooden plank, but I've already been trained by this game to see something that is colored like it's not supposed to be part of the pre-rendered environment, going like, actually, maybe that's just pre-rendered.
Maybe I can go through between these rocks. That's a no.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna need one of you to look up and see, are there any guides for this game? Has anyone suffered through this enough to write a guide? Because I am out of places to go and things to do by my measure, unless they really want me to go back to those huts and lock those enemies into being turned around so that I can hit them.
Well, someone wrote a FAQ, but not a proper guide.
Is the most frequently asked question, what the fuck do you do in this game? If not, should be. Oh, fuck.
So, it says to find your sword, you need to leave the village by the back gate for the hill.
Okay. Well, at the very least, I do have a full playthrough we can reference as well, like video. Yeah.
So I think this was the back gate, unless this was the front gate.
Yeah, unless it was the front gate and we've just been doing the wrong thing this entire time.
Can't believe these Dundies didn't label their gates.
Oh, we do have a map.
Oh, yes.
I will consult the map in a second once I'm in the center of the village. You know, the ideal spot for
it. Asking if this is the fastest we've resorted to a guide. This or maybe Limbo the Lost.
Okay, examine. So not a good map.
No.
We live on a massive pepperoni pizza.
There's a front gate, there's a back gate. At least we know that.
Oh, just like my ancestors.
Also, according to this guide, the locket and the water wheel don't do anything other than just give you clips of the cartoon.
Cutscenes on demand.
Oh, beautiful. Love that kind of design.
That might be
I think that is a pet peeve of like adventure games of this style, is where there are items that are just red herrings that have no actual use.
Is this
you
the way we loop back around?
I'm pretty sure, yeah, you loop back around.
Yeah.
Oh, Graveyard Shift 50. Use the stick on the back gate to break the lock. Well, that's good to know.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, can't use it as a weapon, but we can jimmy a lock, I guess. Yeah, that makes sense.
Wait, can we use the stick on the treasure chest and get anything out of that?
No, you can't, because you need the crowbar for that.
Oh, of course.
Oh,
how fucking silly of me. Also, the constant fucking camera cuts here are making it impossible to tell if I'm looping around or not.
Yeah.
Again, this is every tank control game in my mind. It's just this.
I'm gonna eat that fucking bread.
Yeah, that's why I wanted to, really insist that, hey, you play Resident Evil 1, you can play an old game that actually knows how to utilize these camera cuts well.
Magic Meow says that's a shitty lock of a stick and break it. You ever see those videos on YouTube where that guy like opens locks by not even him. There's this guy who opens locks by just taking another lock and hitting the first lock with it, which just knocks it open.
Yeah, that's the thing with most traditional padlocks, is they're apparently not actually that hard to break. You just need to apply enough force or torque.
Use the item in your inventory.
I know, but it should, like a real video game would have it so you walk up to it and there's like a text prompt that says it's locked, but the lock is pretty rusty. Maybe
right,
if
what do you
I
think
had
you're playing
something...
right now?
Yeah,
what do you think you're playing right now? A real video game?
You think that's a video game you're playing?
How would you have known there was a lock?
Yeah,
how would you have known there was a lock on this fucking door when the camera is so zoomed out?
Mainly someone will have to confirm to me, but I assume Alone in the Dark had examined text.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Wait, can I climb up?
Oh yeah, maybe that point in. Yeah, I don't remember original release Final Fantasy VII camera cuts being this terrible. Yeah, no, because they're done really smart in that game. So what Square would do is they would just have panning images, and anytime there were cuts, you would transition in between like huge areas. So you would have one camera cut just for the village, one for the indoors, they wouldn't segment it this frequently.
Uh-oh.
Oh, good. Now, it did say towards the hill is the,
Well, I need
sword,
to vent
so-
some
Yeah.
frustrations, and this guy looks like just the...
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but
I'll
again,
save it
you
on
go
slot
play like
2.
you go play Resident Evil on PlayStation 1, and they show you can do this kind of camera work.
Oh,
and-
bullshit! You can hit me through the... Fine, you can play
but-
that game, potentially.
Yeah, that's the big question. Well, yeah, if you had an attack that actually had any fucking range.
Before it whisks us away to the fucking game over screen.
God, this might be the most cumbersome way to do any sort of menu stuff I've ever seen.
I'm in awe of this. Like, honestly,
Oh, yep. Yep, see, the enemies and the player have the same weaknesses. This is truly the Dark Souls of video games.
oh, a map of the Highlands. This will come in handy. Let's look at it. Oh, yeah! Super useful, motherfuckers! Yeah, that's really gonna come in handy. Thanks!
We have to find the answer by ourselves.
No.
Make a map of the village of the Dundees in the surrounding area. A rock, eternal power to cordon. Jeez. Something nice about this game. I mean, the challenge is... I mean, the reason why we have the Say Something Nice button is so that if we're getting too negative, we're being too negative and antsy, we at least come up with something.
I do genuinely like the animations for using the food items. It might not be good for gameplay, but
I'm stuck.
Yep. Also like this. I'm not going to justify it. I like this.
I am straight up stuck.
You ate too much cheese and bread, clearly.
I say,
how? I can't
you
fucking
remember,
believe it.
You remember the music loop that had 8 notes? How do you feel about a music loop with 1 note?
there's 2 notes.
Okay, there's 2 instruments, but I think they're playing the same.
So, I did the thing where I looked up videos on YouTube just talking about this game to see if I could find anyone who was like, I was a developer, you know?
Develop what?
I
You cut
found-
off at the end?
I said I went on YouTube looking for video reviews of this because I was curious if there was any comments like, I was a developer for this game. Because, you get that
yes.
sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't found that yet, but I did find a review of this game that was praising this game. Like, a positive review of it. And I'm looking at the comments here. I'm not going to say the name of the channel because I don't want to call anyone out for having an opinion. You can be wrong. It's fine. It's a free country. But, someone was saying this actually doesn't look bad, especially for Jaguar. Someone said, I like this game, never understood the hate. It takes some getting used to, and the controls could be better. Could. Otherwise, one of the more interesting Jaguar CD games, and the person who made the video said, yeah, definitely. My suspicion is that the quote-unquote critics who called it a bad game found it too difficult and immediately gave up. I am dead set certain anyone can get through the game with a memory track and practice.
I mean, anything is theoretically possible.
You could say that about most games outside of ones that are literally broken.
If you have a memory track, so you can get past the parts where you get stuck in the geometry and literally cannot move forward.
Okay.
I would, I'd probably wait until we've seen more of the game, but I would be curious to watch a video. I will say, at least compared to some of the 3D stuff I've seen on Jaguar, as primitive as this looks, like this probably is actually decent looking for the system.
No, this system could do Tempest.
Oh yeah, but Tempest is like even more abstract and simple graphics.
Yeah, and that's what the
I'm not
Jaguar
saying like
was meant for.
Yeah, I'm not saying aesthetically better. I just mean on a pure technical level.
Well, there's only one polygonal thing on the screen right now. Everything else is pre-rendered. Like, that's the trick of these pre-rendered games.
Yeah, it works.
I think some of those trees weren't necessarily pre-rendered. When you get close to a tree, I think some of them sometimes they are polygonal objects. It's either that or they fucked up the rendering on everything so bad.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Stonehenge.
Stonehenge.
Or you mean the Hill of Oaths?
But yeah, you can get used to bad controls, but that doesn't change the fact if controls are bad or not. You can get used to a lot of things.
Someone read Tiger Chimera's comment, because it's exactly what I was thinking.
Yep. Okay, so Tiger Chimera chat says, okay, so for design purposes, they could have had you walk up the one set of stairs at the bottom, then cut you to the top where you're in range of the guard, but instead they have 2 to 3 other cuts for the entire staircase up.
Because it's realistic. You know how in God of War, the new one, where you're always in the world, there's never a camera cut?
I am Quentin MacLeod, and I am not a child.
I am Ramir.
Well, here they have 1 billion camera cuts.
A Redditor.
A Redditor? No, wait.
7 centuries ago, after the Great Catastrophe...
It's so funny to me about the fact it's based on the cartoon, but they didn't have enough scenes from the cartoon to use, so they had to try and make in-engine cutscenes and render them out.
I mean, also possibly, how much disk space are these FMVs taking up? Even how compressed they are?
All of them. All of the space.
The last immortal, and claim the prize. Supreme knowledge.
Y'all should have expected the guy who shows up dressed like this to not be playing along with your little thing.
10 years, perhaps 10 centuries from now.
That guy has a real JoJo's Bizarre Adventure design, just having weird stuff on his face.
Warn ourselves to. And on that day, Cortan, you will know your end has come.
Really, if y'all show up in the same robes for the ceremony and one guy shows up dressed like fucking Skeletor.
Rightful owner, the sword of the MacLeods. Kept safe for 7 centuries, it has awaited the birth of the last.
Is that a katana?
It is yours.
Well, I mean, that's what the main character uses in the first Highlander movie.
Become the savior.
I did not remember that. I didn't remember it being a katana.
And we talked over him saying there can only be one, and...
Yep. Don't lose your head, which I think is a quote from the first film. Yes.
All right, bye.
Yeah,
thanks.
Points out
Thanks,
maybe
weird
it's
guy.
the Dai katana. Multiple people in chat pointed out maybe it's the Dai katana.
Cool. Anything else up here? Oh,
well, the sword. Which
I
you were
assume
not
we picked it up in the
standing next
cutscene.
Exactly. Oh, and it's a different color. Nice. Oh, cutscene's so nice. You have to see it twice.
No dialogue this time. It's literally just a glamour shot of it.
Well, the guy left. Guy whose name I've already forgotten.
I guess I'll take it. I guess.
And now you gotta equip it.
Yeah,
I
just
hope
vary
this is a
between
thing
the
where
map of the village and Clyde's water wheel. Thanks.
You know, about the same importance.
Yay.
I wonder if this is going to be a game where you can't pick anything up unless you equip bare hands.
Oh, that'd be so funny. All
Now
right,
run
back down those
all
steps.
Way.
It's a long way to the top. And a longer way back down.
Okay, so now that you have the sword, you have parries, which are
Great.
A and B.
Yeah, I'll get right on that.
I wonder how long and drawn out that parry animation is. If it's even remotely viable.
Let me...
So I'm still in awe of all this, honestly.
So your next swipe...
God damn this camera.
Your next swipe is on B, which sounds like the important one for a Highlander game.
Which way do we go? I want to go back to the village and finish killing everyone there, but...
Oh, check your map.
Shut up!
I'm always telling you to check your map, and it always works.
All right, we should probably practice.
This best camera angle for this fight.
Okay. Yeah, when we get there, I think I know where we need to go.
Oh! Okay, so... Oh, I don't have enough time to bring up my sword for a block. There we go.
Oh, nice block.
So you found your overhead block. The A button is the side attack block.
The sword fighting sucks.
Oh, really?
You don't say.
I didn't expect that.
The fact you have to menu through all this shit to get back into the first screen of the game before going back into the pause menu to go to load game is just a cherry on top.
I seem to remember us having a conversation about the games that were on the most recent patron poll and asking like how long those things were. And I think you said, well, the long play for the Highlander game's 2 hours.
Wait, hold on. I didn't actually equip the sword. There we go.
I have it up. Another window in case we need it. Yep.
Every time the camera cuts, I feel like a little part of myself dying, honestly. It's... There's a save state.
Yeah. Here's a trend I do see with a lot of these early, I'll call them like tank control adventure games, you know, like Alone in the Dark, Biofortunist, that they would have these very complicated controls for melee combat, like bespoke high block, low block, and individual like arm buttons, like a left punch, right punch. And it's like, you don't need that granular control for something like this.
Christ. You know
like, why does Resident Evil work so well? You aim, you shoot.
Someone send this game to Iron Pineapple. Someone send this game to Lil Aggie. Gets the Souls people on this.
You can't. Everything takes so fucking long. Every animation is so lovingly mocapped that reacting to anything is impossible. Like, reacting to, is it an overhead? Is it a side swipe? Which one do I do? Doesn't matter. If he started his animation, it's already too late.
By the way, just a little taste of what's to come. Even when I was looking at the comments of people who were praising this game, there was still, like, someone saying, like, yeah, I love this game, but once you get to the enemy quarters part of the game, it actually does get kind of bullshit with how the enemies act, and you're not given enough health items for it.
Oh, pattern heiter!
So it gets worse.
Stuck in a pattern.
Oh, thank God.
Hey, look. It works for the concho, the chief. It's good enough for us. Yeah, that's the thing with most of these complex combat systems, is you just end up finding the one attack that the enemy can't... Yeah, that works. The enemies don't know how to react to.
Guess what? I'm save stating after every fight in this game.
Yeah.
Now, Cass, I do want you to know, there are cheats.
Oh, hold on. Holding forward, pressing A.
Yep. That is your... Well, that can't be right.
I like that little jump.
It says that's your leg and head slash, which that doesn't look like a leg and head slash.
No, it's a poke.
For sure. Oh, no, wait. You said A, right?
Oh, C, I mean.
C? Okay. That's a sword jab. Yep, that makes absolute sense. And that seems to be what works here. You were hitting him, but you know what? Bank error in your favor. Take it. No,
right.
Bury me with my bread. There is an invulnerability cheat if this becomes literally impossible.
That's good to know.
There's also a cheat I want to check out once we're done with this game. It says Rogues Gallery. That's all it says, but I would love to know what that means.
Oh, hey, we made it all the way back to here.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't there a tank in the way before? Wasn't there a thing when we came from the other direction? Why'd they change that?
No, wait. No,
Yeah.
they had a guy for... Wait. Okay, no, I see where we are now. They went to go get lunch. It was their break. They went to...
Oops. No, I didn't mean to. I walked over him and it... I wasn't trying to drink the potion.
You were
they went-
invulnerable
You're in
during
the
animation for a bit there.
You're in the Highlands right now, so they went to some traditional, like, Scottish cuisine, McDonald's.
Okay, well...
Okay, well, I will confirm we do not need to go back inside the village.
Yeah, because there's
Once
a
you want to
chest
kill
there.
those guys in...
Where do
Yeah,
we get
you
the
do
crowbar?
need to go back in the village.
Well,
be
eventually,
clear.
yeah. I just mean right now, I believe. Our
So
path
say,
is this way.
Unless you want to, like, practice your sword skills some more.
Am I going the wrong way
Just,
right
just
now?
have a bloodlust at this point. Yes, yeah, this is the right way.
Graveyard Shift 50 in chat says, the Rogues Gallery is a hidden dev room. I definitely want to see that at some point. Where you can get a rubber chicken, the best weapon in the game.
Yeah, that sounds about right, because this game's a fucking joke.
Okay, yeah. What is going
Are
on
the
with
Evil
leaves?
Forces Canada?
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. I see that leaf. They can't fool me.
But also just the leaves in the screen in general are confusing me.
Alright, looks like you have found the strat with the sword.
Thank God.
Imagine if we hadn't looked at the guide to see where the sword is, and we just kept trying to do this with our bare hands.
The canyon gate will be guarded. Your task is to get rid of the guards. Oh, and watch out for any alarms.
What? You're not gonna help?
I'm a teacher, not a nursemaid. And anyway, it's your idea to go to the lion's den.
Well, I can't believe they got Sean Connery for this game. That's impressive that he did reprise his role. That's...
That line delivery where the guy went, "What?" sounded like a completely different actor for a second there.
Okay, so something I gotta test here. Let's... Oh, God, I hate this menu.
Yeah.
Save, slot 2. Alright, what happens if we backtrack? Does it just warp us all the way back, or do we get some bespoke animation? Yeah, there we go.
Yeah!
And now you get... Okay.
You have to go to the desert to find a crowbar, so we can head back and...
Yes. I mean, that is literally... You're going to find the crowbar here.
I'm shocked how quickly we found the one move that just enemies have no no idea how to stop you from winning.
Is cheese and bread the only things that people fucking eat in this universe?
The only thing that could survive the nuclear apocalypse.
Yeah, this camera needed to be this zoomed out. This whole area needed to be this wide open. Yeah, no.
I think we can zoom it out further, personally.
Yeah, this game is so weird because it's clearly, you know, you can directly see what the influences are, but some of the design in how far the camera's panned out, how weird these menus work. At the same time, I can't fathom that these developers played many other games.
Yeah, if Alone in the Dark is to blame for this, then it was a fucking mistake. I'm coming out the gate hostile on this one after everything we've experienced so far.
Oh, I think I was quicker to hate this game than you were.
Like, you know, Bad Game Hall of Fame, all about giving these games the benefit of the doubt. It had my benefit of the doubt for like 5 minutes. It's all doubt from here. This one sucks. Yeah. And I'm not afraid to say it.
But it does have Analog's stare use before Res Evil did. What?
Quicksand?
Oh no, quicksand!
Ugh. Can I just walk out?
So
Mercifully, yes.
But also, that was most of your health, so...
Yeah. Oh, I think... No, never mind. Okay.
Yeah, like it's a weird thing to get hung up on, but I can't fathom how that menu system came about because I can't think of any other game that does the menu in that way. Okay,
That's
I'm
a
curious
running
to
jump
try.
game. What do you fucking want me to do besides run jump? So
I
guess...
looked it up on Moby Games. This is the third game that this studio ever made out of 4. The other 2 previous games were on the Atari Lynx.
Was one of them Kung Fu?
Yeah.
Yes, it was. That was the first.
Slime Generator mentioned that in chat earlier. I forgot to mention.
So I'm walking past the bridge because I assume I can't make that jump.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, we looped around. Or wait, no, is this a loop around or hard to tell?
We do have a suggestion in chat that the wooden plank might be the solution.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Bridge.
Yes.
Okay. I'm not a betting man, but what are the over-under that this soundtrack is literally a guy blowing into a microphone?
$50 says you're right.
I bet it's like a sound library, right?
No, because a sound library would have a longer sample than this.
Yeah.
No, my bet. They took the sample from the sound library and cut it as short as possible to fit more like FMV on the.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like, I'm thinking maybe that's why the music is so limited. Is that's where they're cutting to keep the cutscenes on disc.
This is a nightmare how big these environments are and how many camera cuts it takes, and it's just it makes I have no idea where I am relative to anything right now. I'm sure I could consult the map.
Yeah, I'm sure once you get the map for this section, it'll all make sense.
I love you can see the other soldier in the back there. It was just a couple of pixels.
Good.
All right, what healing items do I have? Oh.
I think cheese doesn't have an animation tied to it, if I remember correctly.
Drink that bottle. Hey, here's my imitation of this game's soundtrack.
Oh,
guns.
Yeah.
That's particularly cruel. To transition to a screen and just, hey, there's something shooting at you you can't see, so you won't know it's shooting at you.
Also, is this just a dead end? Tell me this is just a dead end. Tell me this is just a trap. No, wait.
Up there.
Unfortunately, no.
I think
it looks like they're waving at you.
I think the people with guns only exist for the devs to be like, you're not supposed to be here yet.
Yeah.
So die.
Yeah. But you know, for a game with manual saves, is a very cruel way to do trial and error design like that.
So yes, you cross the bridge using the plank. So maybe we just do that.
Okay, I'm gonna read this because I think Cashew might be a comment on this. Mia saying, I'm pretty sure Alone in the Dark 1 is also bad, but I might not be giving it enough credit for the era.
Okay, for the era, it's incredible. Is it easy to go back to? No. But it's leagues ahead of this. You can tell that it's a combination of ambition and talent using incredibly limited, like, hardware. Like, you know, you didn't... Like, that game ran in software, 3D, like, rendered in software without, like, the need for graphics accelerators and whatnot. So, you know, it's impressive, and the amount of things you can do in that game and ways you interact with the world, and, like, for its time, good. In retrospect, you know, going back to it, it's hard to go back. But... the difference between that and this is night and day.
Yeah, because I've not played them personally. I've just seen playthroughs. So it's a funny thing where, though it's the weakest story, apparently the third one actually is maybe the best one, which is more of just an action game. You do some rooting to and shooting in that one.
You sure do. Oh, look, there's a another area here. So before I take the plank, over to the center. Let's step on up. It's great they have such a smooth stair climbing animation too. Really sells the effect here.
As much as I brought up Resident Evil not doing this, it's like there's a reason for that, because it was it was hard to animate.
I like how the ambiance stopped to start again.
Yeah, I thought we were gonna get new music for a second.
You know what? I really actually hope for here, and I shouldn't hope for this, but I hope we get copyright claimed for this wind sound.
It did happen to me once. I had a Twitch VOD get muted for Shadow Colossus, but thankfully I was able to counter it because it was not actually the sample. But also, that's messed up to me that you can just put wind sound into the audio detection system.
Ooh. Is the camera distorted here? It's like it's Dutched. I'm okay.
Yeah.
Say something nice. I'm impressed they found a way to do that. Whether it was intentional or not, who's to say? But
yeah, it almost looks like they realized that the camera view they had was off, so they had to skew the in-game graphics to match. Oh, okay. I was really worried you were just gonna fall off and take damage. Okay, yeah, no.
I bet the controls for that are like on the other side.
Yeah, unless you put like a crank into that black thing there.
Oh yeah, that could.
Oh yeah.
Thing.
Yeah, I mean, who knows? Because there's no way to examine the environment. So
hey, you know what I'm gonna do? Since we're already cheating here.
What side of the thing are you?
Oh, sounds even better now.
Oh, hold on.
That sounds
trickier than I thought.
Yeah, that sounds like a busted washing machine running.
Heavy load. There we go. Oh, I actually can't double tap to run because the there, I just
Slime
saved us
generator.
10 minutes.
Yeah. Slime generating chat says this dude's face looks like Squidward's house. Yeah, I see it. Like I said, despite how he looks in the cartoon, he's got super chiseled jaw in game.
Wooden plank.
Yeah, we really need a cutscene for that.
Strictly necessary.
I like the implication that he just dropped it and was like, "Oh, I hope this will work."
Yeah!
Fuck off! How? How? Why? Why would you have it so I could still fall off? Why would you do that? You assholes! You fucks!
We have to find the answer by ourselves.
Okay, I have a brief request.
I did that just to piss you off. By the way,
I have a brief request. Cass, can I try and cross the bridge?
Yes, absolutely. Knock yourself out.
Okay, so we got walk there. That's that. Oh.
You know, this
How
game's
do you
really not that
run?
bad. The critics, I think, just didn't give it a fair shot. You're right. Yeah, now that I'm hands off of it.
Okay.
I give you
Turn.
a third of a second before you fall off.
What do we do?
All right, yeah.
Oh, yeah, it's...
You know, that's why we brought you on.
Put this L-Tech. Oh, some of those camera cuts taking way longer is scaring me. Okay, how do you run?
Double tap.
Double tap.
But you can't do it on stairs.
Oh, no, you can't. Well, you know, that's just smart. Don't want to run and fall.
But what you do is you get on all fours before you go faster upstairs to maintain your balance.
Oh, you can kind of, if you mash it. Because here's... Oh,
Oh, have fun. Remember, forward and C.
Yeah, I don't think forward and C is going to get us out
see
of the
if I can-
situation.
Oh, wait. When you say forward, do you mean up?
Yes.
Hmm.
So...
Oh, you know what? Probably because I'm smashing.
It's... Yes, because technically it's not forward and up, it's while walking, press C. So what you're doing is like a micro walk and hitting C to do the attack.
I'll save state E at the top of the stairs, too.
Yeah.
Because that bridge is perilous. And if you think you need more health going into the fight...
Yeah.
Go figure, no one is speedrunning this game.
not yet. Oh, am I stuck on game? Come on. There we go. There we go. 2 breads, 2 cheeses.
Knock back some bottles.
Okay, I just got to double check. C is on the left of the controller, right?
Correct. Yeah, it'd be like PlayStation Square.
Yeah, which is great when they've put it the other way around.
Yeah, when they... Yeah.
Remember, C is also dodge left. No, A is dodge left, which is the one on the right.
Don't use all my healing items.
I'm only going to use 2.
I worked hard to collect those.
Tiger Chimera says the sound is driving me nuts. I have muted Parsec at this point. I will not make it if I just keep hearing that noise.
This is a very mean combat encounter to put you in.
I don't think this is a combat encounter you're supposed to do. I think
you're completely wrong. You have the sword now.
Well, I'm trying to run.
Okay, you have a sword now.
I'm the Highlander.
You're one man.
What am I running into? Who knows?
What are they running into? They don't know. Can you not go any further left?
Now take out your pistol. There you go. That's absolutely not a fight you're supposed to do.
But you totally could.
I could also, like, hit myself in the face with a hammer. I shouldn't.
This combat is so strange that you can do stuff like this. Like, watch. Like, yeah, you could just cancel anything into anything, and how you activate it. Okay, forward and B doesn't do anything. Also, sometimes I'm attacking because I'm just so used to there being a run button in games like this.
Yeah, you've been spoiled by modern game design.
Oh, we got that path. Is there anything this way? Oh,
yeah,
there
probably
is.
Lots. Yeah, there's way too many paths here. They're giving you way too many routes you can go in any given screen.
This is a fight you could do if you had health.
Yeah, fuck it, who needs it? Let's poke him.
Nope, don't mash the button.
Yep, you can't mash.
I realized. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna do this fight. I guarantee I can do this fight.
Oh, yeah. No, I'm eager to see.
Okay.
Do you know what? I think the smart thing would probably just be to walk backwards, so that you're blocking them, you know, on the bridge, so they can only face you one at a time.
I didn't say I would get it first try, but I know this can be done.
Yeah. So
there we go.
I don't know if you can just tap a button to get a sword attack to come out. It feels like you have to hold it.
No, you have to hold.
Yeah, which is so strange. Because it's not a charge or anything. It's literally like a holding a button that's like play animation, and if you let go, it stops.
And it only cost you almost all of your life.
Yeah, but I feel
just
great.
Just because you can do it doesn't mean you're supposed to do it.
Yeah.
No, I mean, the way they intended people to play this game was to save on every fucking screen before every combat encounter and deal with the load times.
The way they intended people to play this game was to buy the game at a store, and then they'd be like, thank you for the money.
Oh, also, yeah, I was just going to say that, I can't imagine for this kind of adventure the best thing to be doing right now is to be filling up on cheese and bread.
You're gonna spoil your appetite for dinner.
Just
Oh,
like
boy.
all carbs and fat. Oh, look at that new enemy type though.
Look at that camera angle. Great to be able to tell what's happening.
Ooh.
Unfucking believable.
Load that angle.
It's not the game's doing, but it is just fun to watch. Just the way
That guy
it
on the
moves.
that guy on the ground closest to you looks like the doctor from TF2.
Yeah, I could see it.
Yeah, nothing.
I'm
for
sorry,
us to
the
pick up.
medic.
All right, check this
There
out.
you are. The lever.
Yeah.
That's how you lower that bridge.
Yep.
I will take it.
Useful for starting some machinery.
Did I do
Other
anything
thing I
else
want
in
to
here?
mention. So, some people will initially complain about having these pauses between transitions, but I argue it's actually necessary for games like this because having the pause gives you like a brief second to kind of go, okay, I'm going to change orientation. I know that my angle's going to change. But
How about the times when
pauses-
it pauses like for 3 times as long as it?
Now, that's what I was going to say. Is they vary in time in this, and that feels horrible. Because yeah, if they're like instant camera cuts, it's actually more disorientating when you have like, you know, instantly, oh, the camera's facing a different direction. The pause actually does give you time to adjust, but they fucked even that up in this because of the variable load times. Oh, got first time chat from a Ninja Turtle shaped pasta saying, I bet the back of the box says features more than 3 polygons.
And it's 64-bit too, and that's
Yeah.
really impressive.
Okay, I will say when I said I thought this looked visually decent, I think my
hold on.
But this looks visually decent.
I fucking
Look at
blew
that,
it. I didn't assume that was quicksand.
Yeah, that soldier though, he believes the cause so much he was willing to sacrifice himself to the quicksand to kill you. Was it Fight for Life? I think that's what I was using as a reference point, and that's probably not the graphical showcase on the system.
Just because I know I can, that doesn't mean I will. I'm going to no. You know what? It's actually safer to fight them because I would be locked here. See, when you try to run away and you run into an object and you get cornered, there's no getting out of it. I'm mashing every button.
You should have done my pro-intended 100%
Okay.
plan from the start strat where I got them stuck on invisible geometry.
All right, I'm taking over. My turn.
Okay, go for it. Good
This
luck.
is my state-mandated play of this game, so I can say, like, I played it part of it this evening, so I'm not playing anymore.
Contractually obligated.
Mm-hmm. You just gotta know how to recognize 3D space, that's all.
Oh, shut up. Oh, by the way, have fun when you make it to that door that you absolutely need to get to, and these guys are still chasing you, and you have the 2 coming at you from the door, and then these 2 guys behind you.
I told you, that's the strategy. That's the strategy. Get everyone in one place.
Oh, you know what? I kind of just want to see this to happen because I just want to see what the frame rate does.
No, start running. Start running. And now watch me parry. I'm the parry specialist around here.
Bang, bang, bang! Pull my devil trigger.
Yep, I got it. You can't see it, but I'm doing a great job.
Yeah. That's messed up. There's no friendly fire though.
All right, that's my playthrough. All right, let me do a little bit of. Let me try combat here.
Yeah.
Just so
Yeah, please.
I do think the strat here is to spawn the enemies and then move back. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, for fuck's sake, game.
Really? Okay.
No, okay. They're literally teleporting you.
Remember, you have to hold down buttons. It's not enough to tap them.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say that was intentional. Fuck you, design there. Just happy little accident, I guess.
And remember, if they hit you there, they'll knock you back into the previous screen now.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know.
I'm curious if it'll remember their position.
Yes, it does.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
That's why we had that guy who was blocking us in that hut before.
All right, one more try. I have an idea. Wait. Wait. No. Fuck. Yep. Okay.
Yeah, I wish there was enemy in fighting, like they could hit each other. I think that would at least be something. Don't just make you.
You
like,
keep
Alright,
trying to do the
fuck.
jumping attack, and it's never going to work.
That's the. I'm really not trying to do the jumping attack. Is the thing. Okay. Over here. No, that I never show up where I think I'm going to show up. Right there.
Our slime generating chat has pointed out that they think someone's window has been left slightly open. Gotta close it. Stop the whistling
That's
sound.
not the
I'll get
attack
right on
I
that.
was trying to do. Why is everything a jumping attack? That's not what I'm doing.
Because, are you double tapping the D-pad? Are you trying to
I am
mash
not
it
double
out,
tapping
basically?
D-pad. Well, that's my playthrough of it. That's as good as I can possibly do at this game.
Okay. Let me get this.
This is a game that having hands on is worth trying just to really feel it. Like you can tell looking at this the controls don't feel great, but you really feel it once you play it.
Ninja Turtle Shipasa says what we said at the top of the show, actually, that if you watch the original movie, it's pretty definitive ending with no room for 5 movies, 2 TV series,
Yeah,
a made-for-TV movie, and a web series.
yeah, it
and a
very much
cartoon.
ends in a way that has no room for a sequel.
By the way, no damage taken.
Yeah.
That's why you're playing this game and I'm not.
I'm the
can't do
one!
that. I know.
I'm really good at walking over planks, though. That's the one.
Yeah, now Johnny's got me
table.
got me on that. If it comes to platforming,
all-
I'll pass it off to Johnny.
Yeah, we all have our specialties. Johnny can navigate, you can fight, and I can complain.
Yeah.
This is really like a first for this show, I feel. We've played some games on this channel before. We are the Bad Game Hall of Fame. We've been doing this for a minute now. We've covered some jank. But this is kind of unbelievable.
I don't think it's worse from here. This is still the good part of the game.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. At least I've mastered combat now.
Yeah. And this poke has a surprisingly big hitbox.
What button is this poke?
C.
It's C and forward.
I was using C. Every time I was doing those jump things, I was not double tapping up. I was just doing up and C.
You were doing this, which is A. Remember, C is square, B is cross.
I know. I'm very well aware of that.
Yeah, I
here's
did
what
do
happens
the
if
jump
I'm
attack once, but I forgot how to do it.
Here's what happens if I'm sprinting in press C.
Yes. So let me wait. Controls. I have it here. Watch. So it's doing that now. But when I was in that fight, I was hitting these same buttons and it was doing a jump.
Yeah.
I guarantee you what was happening was that you were in sprint mode because the inputs are so bad in this.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. I'm sure I was.
Yeah, there's a little bit
sprinting.
of yeah.
I'm sure I was sprinting even though I was making a concerted effort to not double tap up.
I know. That's what the case is. I hate to tell it to you.
You're
but,
right. No, I know you're right. You're right. I'm
There is a
agreeing
bit
with you.
of,
I'm saying that this game fucking sucks.
I don't know to call it momentum, but there is a bit of, if you're sprinting, for example, you let go of the forward on the D-pad, you don't immediately stop. He has a bit of a whoa animation.
People are, by the way, comparing this game to Ancient Roman, Power of Darkseid, which we've played.
Yeah.
And we ended up liking that one.
Yeah, Millie Let says giving Ancient Roman level of quality. Ancient Roman is so much better than this.
I mean, it's
I
about the
would say
same
it's more
CG. It's about the same level of
Yeah.
computer graphics rendering, but
Sure, but in terms of in terms of like functionality,
Yeah.
like that's a game you can play.
Better music, even in game.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Better story.
Okay. Remember, this is where quicksand is, so
yes,
don't
but
know
I
about
see
getting
what
that.
looks like an item there. Do you see those literally 3 gray pixels? I have to
Yeah.
know.
Save state. A gas gun. Now you have your final weapon.
Oh, shouts to Gascon in chat.
Well, fuck the sword.
All right, do you have limited ammo for that thing? Is
We'll
the question.
find out. I think we might.
Yes, you do.
Hmm.
I bet you
Okay.
need to save that for very specific cases.
Like the snipers, maybe?
Yeah, something like that.
Well, at least I want to know what it feels like.
There are apparently 2 gas guns around here, but it specifically says one of them is not worth getting.
Alright, that's out of ammo.
Okay.
It worked. You press C and it shoots.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had to quickly check, because I really didn't know, but yes, the first Alone in the Dark also had a revolver.
Yes.
I was trying to figure out which one of these games would have had a gun first.
Also, I want to tell you about the controls for the gas gun, because B is actually shoot forward, C is shoot forward from the hip,
Ooh.
and A is shoot behind you.
Yeah, you know, that is kind of interesting. I don't know why you need both hip and forward.
Well,
But-
you know,
but the
so you
idea
can
of
bring up
being
your
able-
iron sights and aim better from this thing.
Yeah.
Like, imagine trying to shoot from the hip here and not aiming.
Yeah. But I do like the idea of having a shoot behind you button.
Shit.
Well, so you know what would be really useful is if you had the gun and you were running away and you could shoot behind you.
Eat
If
some
you're
bread.
running, the shoot behind button is a running jump and you don't shoot.
Yeah, yeah.
Take the hit.
Oh yeah, I assume there's not a quick turn in this.
No, why
This is
would there
probably
be?
this is probably too early for quick turn.
Ah. Refreshing.
Shoot for, like, look at where you are on the screen right now, how zoomed out we are. Shoot forward and shoot from hip, as if aiming would do anything.
All
It's
these
cheesy and
broken
it's making me
ladders in
hungry.
here. Okay.
Milliad asked, wait, the only range weapon in this game is in a quick sand pit? I think you don't pick up ammo. I think each gun is bespoke. So, like, instead of picking up a magazine of gas gun ammo, you pick up another gas gun.
Yeah, that's gonna be
okay.
my guess. Yeah.
Yeah, the Dead Rising logic.
Can I do anything here? Is there any point to this place?
You'd think with that camera cut, but
I know
Okay,
it's
let
not
me
gonna
check.
work, but
Yeah, right.
I'm gonna reference the long play. Oh, nice,
Clyde's
I have-
water reel, finally.
I had to know.
Hang on.
Might as well eat some cheese while I'm here. Which does have
Okay,
an
you do have
animation.
I thought I saw you eat something and it didn't have an animation, like,
I
way
don't know
earlier.
why. In the long play, oh, they left a bit where they were using the save state because they were just standing in front of that control bin for like a minute, not doing anything. Also, I figured out why the long play is only under 2 hours long. It's because they've unlocked like the frame rate. The game is not running at the. This
Can't
can't be
interact
the
with this
speed it
thing
ran on
here.
original hardware.
Can't do anything with this. I'm
Louis-
assuming this is a dead end. I'm assuming this
Luis
is...
PSC says, use cheese on console.
when you use cheese, it
Yeah.
just consumes it, so
Yeah.
unfortunately you can't.
Rat identified. Welcome.
So I'm assuming nothing going here. There's nothing doing here.
Yeah, probably.
Awesome.
Well, you
I'm
got the
glad-
crank, remember?
Yeah, but we use that for the bridge. Way
Have
like
you gone to the bridge yet? No, we haven't gone back here yet.
No, I'm saying that we have a long way to trek back to
Yeah,
where
we do.
I believe we would use
Yeah.
the lever.
Yeah.
And we're going to do it in real time.
I wonder if I can.
Like, I know we've mentioned it. I know it's come up. I know this is not a revelation at this stage. But by God, just so needlessly big, each of these environments. It adds nothing to the game to have these scenes, to have these areas be this expansive. In fact, it detracts. It actually makes it a lot harder to remember where you are, makes it harder to fucking, like, you know, map the area out if you're having to draw your own map, which you are in this case because the maps are absolutely useless. It makes the game infinitely more tedious. I mean, that's for goddamn certain.
Australian in chat asks, "Evening all. How high are the landers right now?"
Okay.
The highest in the room.
Okay. Just wanted to briefly check something. Yeah, that long play is not running at the original game speed. Just wanted to make sure this was running properly, but yeah, this seems to be the frame rate would have been on the real hardware.
Yeah, no, Big P Emu does a good job. If you set it to, like, you know, hardware accurate cycles and whatnot, it seems to run pretty damn close. And you can, you know, it's good that you can unlock it. You can, like, overclock it and get it to run faster.
I can't play any game unless it's in 144 frames per second. Like, I got a special hack of Super Mario 1.
The way it was meant to be played, edition.
Mm-hmm. Like, the level ends after, like, 2 seconds, but at least it feels right.
And don't forget, I have 300 frames of run ahead, too, so it's buffering those inputs the way God intended. Okay.
I'm also using the NVIDIA predictive controls.
I'm also generating extra frames, so it's actually 288 frames per second.
Yeah.
I found a mod to add ray tracing.
Taika Chimera referencing a long play they looked up, left the desert, returned to the village, and returned to the desert. Yeah, because we got to go back for that chest at some point.
Yeah, once we get the crowbar.
Yeah.
Imagine if all this, imagine if getting this lever, pulling this bridge down, the entire purpose of the desert is just to get the crowbar. That we couldn't find a crowbar between here and there. We couldn't hit up a hardware store.
You go back to the chest and you're like, oh, it was unlocked. I should have done more than just kick it like twice to check.
Look at that, though. Persistent bodies. Probably a bad idea for the performance, but still. That's cool.
But it's good for us.
Oh, can they come back as Crimson Heads?
Ooh.
That's what I want to know.
Fuck yes. Yeah, lower it all the way. Show us every frame.
Well, we were going to include a song in this level, but this animation puts us over budget, so we're going to have to... Did we miss the crowbar?
Okay, let me.
You check the
scour.
video, see where the crowbar is. I'll just keep choogling here.
The FAQ answers what is the crowbar, but not where is the crowbar.
Uh-oh. This is gonna go badly.
Okay, yeah, this long play does fuck up, so legitimately the reason it's so short is because they're running the game at like twice the speed. It's very cheeky of them.
Luckily I save stated, because I know there's a guy coming from here now that I couldn't have known about.
Oh, I see. Yes, Tiger Chimera, every bunker is identical on the inside, so... The crowbar could be in here.
There is a slightly different looking one at some point.
Now, 2 enemies I can handle, assuming they're coming from the same direction, but this shit... Okay. Put myself in a corner here.
and get pushed back into the previous screen during this fight. I was really hoping, like, way earlier that you're going to encounter an enemy in the first screen of the canyon, so he could, like, hit you and push you back all the way to the Highlands.
No, I checked. Yeah, no, we did not miss the crowbar. And I do have a potential strat for this fight.
I'd love to hear it.
Okay. Okay. Just wait here for now. Yeah, wait for...
No.
Wait. Keep waiting. Keep waiting.
Keep
waiting.
You might have gone too far forward at this point. Whoa. Because what it looks like happens in the long play is that they only aggroed one enemy at first.
Would have been a dream. There we go.
Got one.
Yeah, imagine Meow's in chat saying, "Oh, this combat system is not up to this." No, it's not.
Well,
yeah,
none of them had any items for me.
Survey your damage. Again, we're really lucky that the hitbox on that poke attack is apparently so massive in front of you.
There's a crowbar.
Slime Junior says, it's cool that we have this leaked prototype. I think you guys should get to the actual finish game now.
I mean, this is a cool work in progress. I hope they finish it. It's a good early access game. Can't wait for the... Okay.
There's a world...
Do you think these shapes mean anything on these consoles, by the way? Like,
they gotta. That seems intentional.
Do you think there's a world in which instead of like Club Drive being shown at that one Atari event, it was this game, but the same result happened? Should we fill the audience in on that story in case there is anyone who doesn't know what that one is?
We did that during our disastrous driving games episode when we played Club Drive. It's too much of a story. I don't have the article in front of me. I don't have the digitizer article.
I think I missed. Yeah, I think I missed that bit.
No, it is one of the greatest games journalism pieces of all time. First-hand reporting from an Atari press event in '94, and Mr. Biffo, he of Digitizer 2000, provides some first-hand interview with an Atari executive who is distraught at the response to Club Drive, and Mr. Biffo tries to reassure him, like, hey, you know, when the game's finished, you know, people will take it seriously, people will know, like, you know, they won't be laughing then. And the Atari executive having to be like, but that is the finished products.
Just a real Pagliacci-ass story.
Yeah, no,
that happens
up
in real life.
And that's why we use Club Drive music for the intro to this stream. Because to me, Club Drive is the Jaguar. Alright, so I got that crowbar. I guess we're going back to the beginning of the game now.
Yep. You are.
Precursor to Resident Evil 3 Nemesis.
I'm going to do myself a favor here.
Yep.
What if all the enemies he had repopulated?
Nope, they're still as dead as Elvis.
There's no reason for it, but I am shocked that this game is somehow able to remember where every enemy died.
That's not as hard as you would think.
I mean, something the games just stopped doing at a certain point.
Yeah, because the methodology for which they did it did change. Like, when the enemies actually became physics objects, when they're just, placed on coordinates, you can just say, remember enemy corpse here. And you need it because, you know, some of them have items, and you might potentially leave an item behind in the course of the game.
Oh, yeah. You could also have a flag that says, does enemy have item? If yes, leave. If no, erase.
Yeah, or just just have the item left if you've...
That too.
Mother, I've come back home.
Okay. By the way, when's the last time you dropped a proper save?
Oh, it's been a minute. How about for nostalgia's sake, we do it right in front of here. Save. Cool.
Okay, I think this room has the enemy and not a chest.
Yeah, but I want to show him my sword.
Oh, good. We're back to music. Proper music. Was this soldier like, well, we cleared out the village. I guess I can live here now.
Yeah, there's no one else to contest it.
Yeah, you know, that worked out. He had a lot of stuff on him, and he did that, no damage.
Man, it's so sweet coming back to this music after...
Yeah. I am surprised how atmospheric they've gone with the music, because I don't think that fits the style of the cartoon stuff we've seen. You know, like it's a lot of like low synth hums or very simple melodies. So is that like a weird tea object on the floor?
It's gonna be cheese. It's one of the only 3 items that exists in this game.
Yeah.
Apparently, there's also only like 2 enemies in this game. So I think
awesome.
Oh well, there's the version with guns. So
yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh, okay. Well, there's
okay, so
the sword guy, and then there was the guys without the helmets. They had different swords.
Yeah,
so,
those are the two. Those are the 2 guys.
Yeah, so 2.5 enemies.
All right, which of these?
When you get to the
chest,
when you get to the chest, just for old time's sake, can you kick it?
Yeah, I can do that for us.
It's the only joy I felt watching this.
Something weird about raiding a village and then only burning down a couple of huts. It's like, we got tired.
Fuck these huts in particular.
Oh, now we gotta figure out which fucking hut it was.
I don't remember. Do you see the chest when you walk into that room, or was it like behind a camera cut?
I think it's behind a camera cut, but I think there's also other objects in the room, or at least like a tent pole in the middle that I was remembering. I don't know. My brain's broken from playing this. Oh, wait, that hut was completely off of our radar for. Is it this one? Tell me it's this one, please. Yes.
Yeah.
Give it another little kick.
No, they don't let you.
I think you need to be barehanded to do it.
I bet you don't.
Just use the key.
I bet it's just a one and done.
Oh, is it?
Ah, that's a shame.
I also did. I didn't even know if we had done that on this particular save, if we had started over or not. Strike.
Uniform.
That's different color than the.
Why was there a uniform in a chest? Why were they sitting on this?
Oh, you know what? There was a mole in the village. How about that?
Yeah,
secret.
Sure.
That's how they knew to come here, because there was actually someone who worked for the Empire, and they were hiding their uniform. You know what? If this game was made of any intentionality at all, I bet that would be it. I'm not convinced that this game was made of intentionality.
I bet it's just a disguise. I bet there's a part in the game where you have to disguise yourself, and I'm sure they'll give you no indication or hint.
That's what it is. You're right too, but I'm saying
you're thinking about like lore reasons why there would be
for lore reasons. Yeah.
Also, could just take a uniform off of any of these motherfuckers here.
They got holes in them from the swords.
Yeah.
Made them one of the ones we beat to death.
Yeah. Oh, the ones you beat to death. Sharp knuckles.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, this way.
Oh no, it's the Die Hard thing. Everyone's wearing like the wrong size.
Okay, so I don't exactly know what the uniform was for, but it looks like in terms of direction, we have to go to that area where we were getting shot from.
Maybe you use the uniform to just walk past it?
Maybe, but as far as I can see, the long play does not do it that way.
They just use the gun, I imagine. The gun is good.
Nope.
No?
Okay, no.
They just tank it from the looks of it.
Okay, there is I see. There's a very, very, very specific purpose for the uniform. And it's not that.
Honestly, probably good that we picked it up now then.
Yes.
Before we
now would have been the time to get it.
Yeah, I imagine.
What section is that in? That's...
It's so nice to be back in the Valley of the Whistling. This is criminal that this was sold for money. I know I try not to engage in the hyperbole, but this is so disrespectful to a player's time. It's so cruel.
Yeah.
It doesn't look good. So it's not like impressive in any sort of way. It's barely ambitious.
I will ask once we're done with this game for sure, because we need to see the rest of it out. But I am looking forward to asking you, outside of things that are just actually repugnant or offensive, if this will be one of the worst games you've ever played.
I'm feeling like it probably is. Early call was that this is maybe one of the most hateful games I've experienced. And like, folks, I know there's like new viewers who show up to everything, and I appreciate the folk that new viewers show up. So any episode could be someone's first episode. So let me just say that I've been doing this bad game shtick for a while. Okay, since long before we've been doing the videos, since we've been doing the streams, long before we had a website, which we started in 2016, where I was writing 40,000-word articles about bad games, long before any of that stuff. I've been on the internet a while, and I've been obsessed with bad video games for a fucking minute. Like, over 25 years, let's say. And in all that time, having played literally thousands of games, I think it's safe to say. Yeah. That's almost useful. That's almost a functional map.
Yeah.
That's the closest one we've gotten so far.
It is.
So having said all that, and judging myself qualified to weigh in on what the true worst of all time are, from knowing bad games history, from studying, the history of video games, and in studying it through the lens of bad games, of the tentpole bad releases, knowing which ones are the most received the most negative reception critically, consumer, which ones are unfairly maligned, which ones are very fairly maligned. Between all of that, when I say this is one of the worst games I've ever played, know that it means something. Know that it's not just coming from a place of exaggeration or hyperbole, that this is truly, well and truly fucking wretched. And I'm fascinated by it. I have to see this through. Like, this is... I'm so committed to it. I need to see where this goes. I am compelled to finish this.
So I do want to add, and it's not quite defense for this game, but in terms of at least the visual style, I would have said that at least when this would have come out, I don't think another console game would have looked like this. I think for, late 94... Was it 94 for the main release? Or 95?
95.
But, I'm trying to think of other systems, like home systems specifically, that would have done pre-rendered graphics like this. And this probably would have... obviously, if the Jaguar barely sold, so for most people, no. But, for anyone who had the system, I don't think people had seen this in a home game before. So it might have been impressive to some people from that.
3DO was out.
Dr. 3DO was out.
Yeah.
Dr. Hauser was also this year, but again, that was Japan and America.
And also, that's fully polygonal, that game.
Yeah, the environments and everything.
Oh yeah, that is fully polygonal. I thought that was pre-rendered backgrounds, but yeah.
Oh yeah, no, that game's I don't know if that game's good or not, but it's, for the time, it's doing a lot you wouldn't expect. Like, you can change the camera angles in that game. You can
River Hill Soft were cooking with that, for sure.
Yeah.
It's not the most playable video game, to be sure, but at least it's like... It was genuinely doing a lot of firsts. It had better textures.
Mm-hmm.
It had textures.
Well, you know what? Actually, I take it back. That makes this worse. That Dr. Hauser came out the same year as this. Again, different companies, different situations, all things considered. But you were seeing better than this on consoles.
Yeah, like, I want to say this isn't impressive at all. Like, my gut... there were 3D games that exist for a while. They existed since iRobot in the arcades. If you want to talk about like fully like textured polygonal models, not just wireframe stuff or trickery. There were absolutely machines. Virtua Fighter fucking precedes this.
Well, I think Johnny's talking specifically about on the home market on consoles and not on PC.
The PlayStation came out in 1994.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
In Japan, right?
It doesn't matter. It was still on the market. People were aware of it. People were developing games for it, even in North America at that point.
Yeah, when I looked up the specific years, if this had come out within like the early, the Jaguar had a very short life cycle from what I'm looking up. If it had come out, say, 93, 94, this probably would have been more impressive for the home market. But yeah, starting to think of where games were going in 95 and late 95 at that.
Wait, huh? How did we come back around to this end? Or wait, why is that enemy dead then? And oh my god, I'm completely lost.
This was like 5-6 months away from Resident Evil 1.
Good thing you have a map.
Yeah.
I went back in a circle again.
I tried to play Devil's Advocate, and I didn't read the instruction booklet, so.
Yeah, no, I mean, like, there was stuff on the core Jaguar that was more technically impressive than this. Fight for Life wasn't good looking, but is more impressive than this.
Yeah, I was only kind of specifically looking.
No, I know, and I appreciate you trying to be. I do appreciate the devil's advocate here. To be clear, I appreciate someone trying to like see if there's any merit here, if there's anything we're missing as far as evaluating this. But I think it's safe to say no when it comes to the graphics department. I think it's safe to say that no, shit looked better than this.
Baseball 2000 came out on Game Boy in 1991.
Yeah. I know. I find it's I like to try and put myself in other people's shoes and think what someone at the time, the hardcore jaghead.
I can also do that. I can imagine they're like, oh god, I spent money on this.
Yeah. Hardcore jaghead put this in. It's like, oh right, my Jaguar CD doesn't work. Shit.
Oh, yeah, that's true. That's probably what they're thinking.
So that was the gun, the Valley of the Gun.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, unfortunately, as far as I could see from the long play we have, they just damage boost through it.
Yeah,
so I
might just need to heal up before you get through there.
Yeah, so I don't know what the dev intended way to get through that section is. Like, I don't see you being able to aim up in this game with the gun.
There was a control for. There was like shoot forward and shoot from the hip, but I can't believe that shoot forward would help at all.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna save state. I'm just to know.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Just so you know, B is shoot forward as opposed to shoot from the hip.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Pro Sugar 92 has a question in chat, and I have an answer for it. So please read it out loud.
Go ahead.
Did the complete version of Fight for Life was the complete version of Fight for Life ever released? I hear the myth that one of the devs refused to give the gold version to Atari because of an unpaid salary, so Atari released a beta or alpha one.
So I've perpetuated that myth before. I've been guilty of this, of some revisionist history here, and I try not to be guilty of revisionist history. I have it bookmarked for just such an occasion here.
Mm-hmm.
Bear with me a second while I find this, because it is an article that debunks the myth once and for all. Okay, here we go. This is from eventhubs.com. This is an article by John Catalyst Gray. Sega was going to sue Atari over Virtua Fighter clone, but decided against it because it would be embarrassing. This has interviews with Francois Bertrand, who was responsible for working on Virtua Fighter 1, as well as being the lead developer of Fight for Life. And I think this article does at some point. And this was just from a month ago. This is April 12th, 2025, so this is hot off the presses. We finally got confirmation as to the real story behind this, so I'm pretty pleased as punch about that. And it's germane to this, because it's an Atari Jaguar game. It's an Atari Jaguar fighter, so...
But yeah, I've heard that whole myth's kind of been debunked in recent years, and Bertrude himself has said, like, no, like, what released is what I finished.
So this article is going to be, like, the definitive source for that, I think, if you need, like, a hard and fast source for it. That's going to be our point of reference. And I had that bookmark because, whenever stuff like that comes to pass.
Okay. I'm going to read Slime Generator's comment here because I think it's interesting to have something to say on it. So, Slime Generator says, people tend to misjudge how technological advances were perceived back in the day. I think even if this was the first game of its kind of consoles, I feel like people would smell a sting from this. It's kind of, compared to AI technology advances nowadays, telling people say it looks like shit. I can see that to a degree, but at the same time, our standards have changed, and I distinctly remember stupid little Johnny bags back in the day saw Final Fantasy VII at the time and assumed, well, that's it. How could you do better graphics than that? How could you do a game bigger than this scope on like a home console? Stupid when I think back to it.
I think
But
this is the place.
Like, there are a couple of times in my like younger years where I would see a game and just the idea of perceiving it could look better than, like, oh, you could do something more powerful than this. Surely that would be a system that would cost like tens of thousands of pounds. So I've been there, so that's why I can kind of relate to that idea. And not just hearing stories from, for example, in the PS1 era where 3D graphics would come out. Oh, well, we don't want 2D graphics anymore. And you can even find that from old reviews from the 90s at the time.
I saw an informal poll. So it was just some guy.
Great gun, by the way.
It was just some guy, I think, doing a community poll. And people who answered that particular poll said that they felt the 5th generation, which was PlayStation, Saturn,
N64 at all.
Yeah. Looked worse than the 4th generation SNES, Genesis and all.
Yeah, I mostly agree with that.
I completely disagree.
I don't.
I love the 5th
I very
gen look.
disagree. Yeah.
It depends. Like, I think there are some games visually that hold up from that 3D era, and then I think there are others that are just...
No, it's
like,
the ones that don't hold up that hold up better to me than the prettiest looking SNES game.
Yeah, some Bubsy.
Yeah, no, fuck. I'd take a game that looks like Bubsy over a game that looks like Final Fantasy VI any day of the fucking week.
I think Johnny was referring to Bubs. Wait, which Bubsy were you referring to? Because there was also a 4th gen Bubsy.
Yeah, 3D.
As you know. Okay.
I was trying to think off the top of my head, but some of the really janky early 3D stuff. Because honestly, I think there are some PlayStation 1 games that do look worse than this.
Yeah, there's some bad looking
sure.
3D games on PS1.
Yeah.
I mean, there's some bad looking PS5 games.
I'm hoping I can get out of gun range at some point.
Yep, there you go.
Oh, fuck, right into a fight, too.
Yeah.
This game is merciless.
At least that long load probably means that you've, like, teleported areas, so those enemies back there aren't a threat now.
Going back to what, something you were talking about earlier, I don't think there's any point in my life where I thought graphics can't get better than this. But I have, at this point, come to the conclusion that graphics don't need to get better than this.
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. I don't think they need to get better than PS2. I don't think they need to get better than 7th gen. I think that was peak to me.
The enlightened take is that it's better to set an arbitrary ceiling at some point.
I mean,
when I look
personally,
back
aesthetically, like, I love the 7th gen, like the PS3 look, the Xbox 360 look. I do love how that era looks. I just think at this point now, like, we can get better graphics, sure, but it's going to be a lot of, like, diminishing returns for more and more expensive hardware, and like at a certain point, like, I'm gonna value aesthetics over realism.
Yeah. Especially because the further you push in the realistic graphics, the more uncanniness actually makes it look worse, as opposed to stylized. And we even talked about this on one of the previous podcast episodes.
Podcast at badgamehallofame.com.
Yep. We got the link for that, thank you. Where we talked about that you're also just arbitrarily, by choice, just pushing the budget higher and higher to keep chasing these high resolutions, textures, poly counts, so on and so forth.
I also just don't want games to look realistic. I don't want games to look like real life. I don't want to mistake a video game for real life at any point. I want there to be clear delineations between what is a video game, what is virtual digital, and what is the world of the real. I want there to be, like, clear dividing lines.
But Did you see that AI Did you see that AI video of a kangaroo at the airport?
I can't say I have.
There's a video that went kind of viral recently, where it was like a woman and another woman who was working the counter in the airport, like arguing, and there's a tiny little kangaroo between the two holding a plane ticket, and people were saying like, "Oh, the airline wouldn't let this woman's take her emotional support kangaroo on the plane," and it was an AI fake thing,
Of course.
but like, honestly, the quality of it in terms of looking real was really good.
It's getting better, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, and yeah, one more comment on this that's related. Yeah, I am Headful in chat point out. Still remember being young and look at screenshots of Gran Turismo 3 and thinking that's as far as game graphics ever get. Yeah, it's when I look back at my past self, it doesn't. I can tell I was wrong, but there are definitely times where some of those racing games in particular were just, you know, from a glance, maybe you had a trailer on a demo disc, so you didn't have like, you know, a full modern display to look at it. You're looking at it on like a CRT, and you probably didn't have a good one at the time. It was like, how that just looks like real cars to me. And you know, you look back at it now, it doesn't. But
I'm trying to figure out which way to go, by the way, and it's not helping that the camera. As you're seeing it go from shot to shot here and cutting in the middle of like.
Yeah.
Okay, so the white pixel on this screen, those are dead bodies. So let's go this way.
How the fuck did they get here? Okay. Hold on.
Oh, here we go.
I actually don't know where you are. The path this long play goes through. Did they cut something?
I got past the Valley of the Gun, and then we reached a fork in the canyon, and that's where we're at now.
I think that's the problem. They go a completely different place from the valley.
Huh? Yeah, sure, I'll take that bottle. Yeah, I have no idea where we are, and that's the game's fault, not mine. Like, I am geographically challenged on the best of days when it comes to these video games and whatnot, but this is 1000% on the game for making this fucking canyon unending. This is backtracking to the gun. So this is gun.
I want you to backtrack though.
Well, no, I'm not going back through the gun thing. We can't go back through the gun thing. They'll shoot us to death. This is the only way forward.
Okay, go forward and I'll see if I can recognize any of these screens. But unless literally this video's cut a section and they've just not been clear about it.
We had like a dozen guys we murked between here and there.
Yeah. Well, hey, at least we don't have respawning enemies so far.
Yeah.
Knock on wood.
Small miracles.
Because in the video, there's the bit where the guy was standing on the rock, and they go past him, and then they go in a direction that takes them to a cave, like an indoor cave with technology stuff. And then they come back this way.
It's been a while, so I'll just say I hate this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, we know not to go that way. There's a reason Resident Evil and similar survival games, they have very small indoor-based maps, and they have in-game maps.
Just kill me. Just shoot me in the fucking head.
Like,
this is hell.
Yeah. And when I think of like the worst games of the style, like where Resident Evil started to have issues, it's like Code Veronica, where they made that map way too big.
But at least it was clear. At least you knew room to room what direction you were headed in. At least you couldn't like walk around in circles without feeling very silly.
Yeah.
The rooms had items in them, and not just items, but props. things that gave them a dimension, a depth, so you understood one room to the other, the difference between one room and the other. Whereas this is just endless fucking canyons. This is... Fuck everyone who made this game. This is another thing I don't usually do, but when I do, you can tell I'm mad. The people who made this game should have never worked on video games ever again, because this transcends just making some bad decisions. This is actively hateful, spiteful, fucking contemptuous design. You only land on this by being a piece of shit who hates your consumers.
So prior to this game, they made 2 2D games on the Lynx. They made this. Then they made one more 2D game on the Lynx, and they never worked on anything ever again.
Thank God.
That last Lynx game was 1997.
Was it published by Telegames?
I could double check for you, but I could be right.
Yeah, I know Telegames was publishing stuff late for the Jaguar and Lynx. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to find that fucking cave, I guess. I don't know. I'm losing hope in real time right now.
It looks like you do eventually have to come this way, but there is definitely a separate area off from that canyon we came in through to go to.
Yep, you're correct. Published by Telegames.
Yeah, Telegames took up publishing on the Jaguar as well for, like, I think Iron Soldier was the name of it, or Iron Soldier 2. A couple like games that were in development when the Jaguar was discontinued, and by the time they were done, Atari had no interest in publishing them, so Telegames took up the mantle of like, yeah, we'll fucking put these out. We'll print like 100 or 1,000 copies or however much.
Yes, I think you're going the right way now.
This is the way we came. I see no cave. I see no alternate path.
Yes. Okay, so go back, go towards the camera. You see there's a boulder? Go behind that boulder. Presuming we don't die.
Presume a lot.
And now that I've seen how obscure that is, now I'm on that fuck this game.
Yeah, it's just...
There's literally no
indication at all.
There's a path there.
Can someone read the comment from Millie about adversarial design?
Oh,
okay.
Yep. You
says,
go, Jockey.
Okay, it says, do you think this is adversarial design like bad D&D games or something like where the game designers are trying to beat the player?
It has to be, because you don't make design decisions like this accidentally. At some point during playtesting, you have to realize the depth of what you've done. You have to realize like the severity of just how unplayable and how unapproachable and how like well hidden everything is. We're trying to get behind this rock, which is, by the way, very fucking hard to do.
Yeah.
I am struggling to find this supposed cave. I would never know to look here, especially when I'm getting shot every other fucking frame.
And the only other explanation I have is it's one of those things where a dev made it, they know the solutions, they playtested it, so they just went, oh, I can beat this. What the fuck?
So...
What is that noise?
So here's the thing. Very late in the game, there's an item that's a... Oh, holy shit. Wait, it's just open?
This is the joke room.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hey, you want the most powerful weapon in the game? You're not supposed to be able to get in here yet. You're supposed to get the...
Thank you, Long Play, for coming this way. Okay, my bad for not actually seeing what this room was for.
Okay, so Stephen Mitchell, the director, worked on NBA Shootout 97, Fat Bobby, Crystal Ice on Android, and never made another game after that.
There's no way to walk away. Oh, you know what this is? We're not like... When we're walking up to it, the camera is cutting. This is actually a camera angle.
She's beautiful.
When it's zooming in on those. So I'm walking backwards right now. My character still exists in the world and needs to navigate around. How do you fuck up a dev room this bad?
Oh, okay.
So
I think I have found the way.
All right, you can get in here at this point, but later in the game, there is a flower item. Not this. There is a flower item, and if you bring it back here, all the way back here, and put it in a specific vase, then you will unlock the rubber chicken.
Ah, okay. So that's why it's in the.
So okay,
That's why it's in the long play.
I thought you needed the flower just to get in here, but no, I think you take the flower and put it in that other corner.
Oh. You might be wondering how I got here.
Yeah. Jesus.
It's you know what it is? It's because I wouldn't assume a long play would include this halfway through the playthrough. But I do have some reference of where we are supposed to go. But hey, at least we found this.
I guess that's why it was so out of the way. Not that it excuses all the other shit that's essential to the essential to progression that is impossible to parse and figure out, like the gate in the first fucking screen of the game.
Yeah.
I do like seeing the Babadook's early work here, though.
I think this is where most of dev time went. Yep, so Kid saying the same thing in chat. They put more effort into these photoshops to the actual game. Oh, John, what's his name? He looks like potion seller there.
I'll drink to that.
Okay. I'm a bit further ahead now, and I do have a rough path of where we're supposed to go.
Are these supposed to be like teleporters between the different areas in the game? Is that what like this is meant to be? There's some way to activate it?
I think... Oh, let me see.
Yes. You can color it somehow. Yes, if you get the flower and you put it in a pot, it makes those things get colored in, but I don't actually know what they do because it's not in the long play.
Well,
yeah, here's the thing. It says once you find the flower, it will activate the teleport in the middle of the room. So, and that's how you teleport to different places in the game.
And also get the rubber chicken, I imagine.
Yeah. So yeah, you put the flower in the vase, you discover the rubber chicken, and it also activates the teleporter.
Well, that's great. I'm glad we found it.
Okay.
Doesn't do fucking shit to help us here.
All right.
Wait,
yeah, I've looked around a bit, so yeah, you definitely want to go this way.
Huh. The flower is actually in the canyon. So it is in this part of the game too. That's
okay, weird. You want to go left from here.
Screen left? Stage left?
Yeah. Yeah, screen left. Towards the camera.
Johnny, are you directing cast towards the further progression, or you're directing them towards the flower?
I think this is progression because I think the long play picked up the flower before going in that secret area, and there's no time codes on this. I mean, we're not finishing this today, so if worst come to worst, we can.
Yeah, but then I'll have to fucking backtrack that much more.
Oh, hey,
where the fuck did this guy come from?
Sign.
Yeah. Yeah. So. We're on the right path.
Oh shit, we're fucked.
Oh, ProStrike has an alternative theory about this game. Theory: the testers did their work but were ignored. That is a very common story in game development, sadly.
Yeah, well, QA testers also have way too big heads on them, thinking that all their feedback is like what will save the game, that they're the ones who understand the games better than the developers. I found in a lot of cases.
Oh, look at me. I found a bug. Ooh, I hope someone fixes this bug. Yeah, right.
Not to say all QA, I'm not being that fucking pejorative, but I've absolutely spoken to people who were just like, we told the developers about this and they ignored us. And it's like, you ever thought maybe it was like too hard to fix or they didn't have the time or resources or, it's like the people who are incapable of understanding the actual workflow. That happens just as frequently.
Well, no, that's a fair point. That, that us versus them mentality is not great, but I imagine that's something management probably fosters on purpose. Because I've heard horror stories of QA people being explicitly told to give gameplay feedback and then doing that and getting in trouble. But no, I more just meant there are enough stories of, hey, we found this specific game-breaking bug, and not necessarily ignored, but just whoever's managing the project, not the developers, are the ones going, yeah, well, this game's coming out in 2 weeks, so that's it. Like, I've specifically heard stories of, hey, QA, you have a week to test this game, and then it's out. And the QA saying, well, no, that's not how it works. But that's how they do it anyway.
This is such a weird... the camera is just not helping me, and the enemies spawn so close to one another, and I'm just, like, in hell. This feels like dying.
Yeah, if you were going to do the game with this type of camera and exploration, you wouldn't have combat. You would go, like, full Broken Sword style adventure game.
I'm just hoping I can kill this guy before the enemy shows up. That, or get, like, the 2-for-1, but they're making it really hard to get the 2-for-1 because they're so spread apart. Either way, this game was not designed for fights against multiple enemies, and yet it is a trick they have pulled so many times. Yeah. This game's barely designed for fighting one enemy at a time.
I was about to say.
You might as well tell me where the fucking flower is at this point, by the way, just to...
Oh, okay. I don't have that answer.
I will see if I can find it for you.
I have the sneaking suspicion it might be before the gun section.
Probably. Is this the screen where they pop in? It's hard to tell because every screen looks exactly the goddamn same.
It's about here.
There we go.
There he is.
Good. This is a good angle. I think I got it. Oh. Well. There we go. Well, quick saving after that, you better fucking believe it.
Yeah.
I'm losing my mind. I just tune out background noise, but this whistling is getting to me.
You know what? Okay. Remember, in your options, you can change sound effects. I bet that's music. I bet that's the music volume. Some button does it.
Okay, the flower is very near the start of the canyon level.
Of course it is.
So where that bridge, you know, the little bit where we use the plank as a bridge, you walk past that for a while. And there's like a big fork in the road, I think. Let's see. Yeah.
I knew they were going to spawn a second enemy.
The navigation gets a bit confusing because the camera keeps cutting. Okay. Well, at least I know where it is.
I don't think we have the health to go get it.
I want the rubber chicken. We're doing this. If people have stuck through this for 2.5 hours...
Okay, here's the thing. You know what the worst case scenario is? The last hard save you did was right before you opened that chest to get the lever back in the village. So it was before the gun section.
Honestly, that would be the quickest save to go back to.
Yeah, we're not missing anything if we do that, right? We're not losing out on any items or what have you.
No.
We haven't made like real progress necessarily.
Yeah, we have not. No.
All right, then we're doing it. That's the way we're gonna play this then. Was it save 2 or save 1?
I don't remember. Not that one, because I remember we were in the village.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you saved outside that room with the
guard.
Soldier.
Yeah.
I think this. Yeah.
Well, yeah, there was one guard in there.
And we don't get anything.
Also, yeah, I noticed it just unequips your sword
whenever you load save. Yeah, it just feels the need to inconvenience you in that way.
Yeah, we can remember where enemies died, but we can't remember what item the player had equipped.
Imagine this without save states. Imagine it's just with the hard saves. I mean, I guess it's not that. I guess you can't. It is effectively quick saves. The fact you can save in place. It's just, you know, not quick. Please tell me this is the hut. This music's like an old friend now. that. Take the... In case you forgot what game we're playing, it's Highlander, by the way.
Yeah. Also, yeah, Slime Generator pointed out something in chat, and I had to check to curious about it, but they mentioned that this game was shown at E3 1995. Imagine seeing this next to the teaser for Resident Evil 1. And yes, there was a 1995 like gameplay demonstration trailer for Resident Evil 1, and it is
I thought you were double checking the fact that Slime Streamer said, "I can't believe you're the only channel streaming Highlander Last of the MacLeods right."
It's a hot commodity.
Yeah,
It's a hot topic.
I'll get right on that.
All right, get ready to direct me, Johnny. After we make it back to the Valley of the Dolls or whatever.
Yeah, yeah.
Wait, hold on. Before we do.
Yeah,
See?
bread.
And a bottle. And we did leave the enemy in there who has, like, healing items on him. You know, if I was smart, I should probably go back, kill him, but fuck it, whatever. At some point, we're just gonna cheat. We're gonna turn invincibility on this game when I get sick of it, so fuck it, whatever. Okay. Show me the ways.
Yeah, keep going forward for now. Now, there might be some enemies here.
It sounds like a laundromat now.
Yes, yeah. Okay, yep, so up towards where that enemy was.
I think they're still alive because we haven't gone this way in this timeline yet.
Also, I guess there's just tons of little split paths around here. We just also
it's the worst. Yep. I hate it.
Yeah, and you very briefly saw it there.
That was the flower.
Dot.
Yep.
Yep.
So it's not even like hidden. I guess the dev room is hidden. I guess that's enough.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, curious if there was any actual in-game hints about how to find that dev room.
No.
Like, the only reason this flower is hard to find is because these camera cuts make no sense.
And because this whole area is fucking unnavigable.
Okay,
flower.
So now you just need to figure out how to get back to the dev room. Also, maybe resist the urge to walk into the teleporter, because once you do, you can't go back.
Yeah, I just want to get the rubber chicken is what I honestly want. If it's the most powerful weapon in the game, as that kind shatter let us know. Also, I want to see what's this way, because this is another path not yet traveled. And I saw what looked like a couple blue pixels, light blue pixels, so color me intrigued. Wait, hold on, I haven't saved.
Oh, you did a quick save not long ago. There was only a couple of screens off.
Graveyard Shift 50 says, I bought a Jaguar CD this year just to play this game. Did you buy a functional Jaguar CD, or did you have to fix it yourself?
That's what I call bad game connoisseurship. Welcome to the clubhouse. You belong here, I'm sad to say.
Yeah. Knowing that AVGN video, I would be very curious how you do actually get Jaguar CDs working in this day and age. I imagine
do remember. I know
replacement parts.
I know he's persona non grata these days, but I do remember Spoony talking about how he fixed the Jaguar CD to get this game to run.
Yeah, when I was looking stuff up, I was surprised to see he reviewed this game. I had no memory of that.
Did he beat it?
I don't remember.
Don't ask me why. I didn't check.
How does it end? What is with this enemy in particular? It's not that any of the enemies like really have different AI from one another. It's purely positioning and camera angle.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that makes any fight different from one to the other.
It's a funny thing because the poke attack does seem to have a very generous hitbox, and that still is not good enough half the time.
Oh, this is the Valley of the Gun. So we are where we need to be.
Yeah.
We do not have the health we need to be here, though.
No, but I do have healing items. I'm going to fast forward eating.
Yeah.
Chug.
Like, yeah, as cool as it is having the actual eating animation, it's too long.
Everything in this game is too fucking long.
Yeah, but they could have cut the animation in half.
Okay. I'm hoping... No. By Jove, I've lost it. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's like the second you get hit, you get, like, stuck in a stun lock state.
Yeah.
Is the big problem here.
I would legit love to know if you can actually shoot these enemies, and it's just the way to do it is so
arcane
obfuscated.
That it's, yeah.
Yeah. Yep, and then behind that rock.
Oh. I love how the healing items are just because, like, yeah, we know you're gonna get hit. That's straight up what they're there for.
Yeah, Taki was I can't find a written guide for this either. Yeah, no, yeah, not a lot of people going super in depth on this one. I have the one long play.
Fuck you, David J. Harper. Fuck you, Mark Green. I can't even get to the flower because I. Ah!
I assume it's one of these pots is empty, and that's the one you got to get to.
Yeah, it's that one over there.
Where are we relative to anything? Up there we go. God, all they needed to do was make an inspect button to actually look at stuff. And then they could open up so many camera angles, or condense so many camera angles.
Yeah, look at that hand.
Here you go.
The scourge of all living things, all pay homage to the great rubber chicken, God and despair. Yeah, I guess I'll take that.
Alright, that's your new sword.
There it is. This is the wrong room to test it in, unfortunately.
Yeah. Whoa, stop.
I know.
I would ask. Okay.
There, hard save slot 2.
I looked it up because that Spoonie review is still up. Yeah, he does beat the game. I forgot that he beat the game. I remember seeing that video back in the day, but all I remember is the first screen of that thing. I didn't even know he actually played it all the way through.
Also, I'm going to drop some items just to condense his inventory. I don't think we need...
Okay, any item that gave you a cutscene, you don't need it. So the water wheel...
These orders, I don't think we need.
Orders, yeah.
Yeah. The locket.
You know,
sure.
Yeah, but I want to keep that for sentimental value.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uniform, you absolutely.
Drop your bare hands. After watching that Rose cutscene, I was going to make a Dire Straits money for nothing quote joke, and then I looked up some of the lyrics. I was like, oh, geez. I didn't remember some of those lyrics.
I want to make sure they're all in the same spots. Okay.
I guess I wasn't aware what that song's about because there's a certain slur they like saying in that song for some reason.
Okay, those are all the orders. Oh, no. Those are all the orders dropped. And fuck this water wheel. Now we got some cheese. We got... This is going to be good enough.
Oh. Can you... I
you want to save
can
now?
Throw away key items in this game.
Oh, yeah, I'm sure they let you, but you can pick them back up. If you notice over there, you can pick those items back up.
Oh,
items are persistent in the world, so...
Oh, I didn't see that. Oh, shit, Resident Evil 0, let's go.
Yeah, fuck it, I'll save on slot 1, who cares?
Oh, I see it now, yeah. That vague L shape on the floor.
Just get shot to death the second we walk out, please. End my misery.
Okay. Let me...
Thank you, Rubber Chicken.
All right, wrong save. We did a hard save, not a...
Yeah.
So now I'll have to do a quick save once we load the hard save.
Try a different slot just in case.
No, I know what happened here. The save is in RAM.
Mhm. Yeah.
Not on... the...
Oh. Folks, that'll do it for tonight's episode of... Yeah, you're right.
Here's the thing, though. At least, looking at its long play, we might actually be basically at the halfway point.
Well, this quick save is actually where it needs to be, because this was us... We just go...
Oh, heading back to the...
Yeah.
Oh, okay,
We didn't lose that much progress.
Mm-hmm.
All things
Okay,
told.
good.
It's just fucking annoying. And it's good to know, at least, that that's how the game handles it. For future reference. Which makes me want to never use the hard saves ever again for the rest of the game. Makes me want to just be like, well, fuck that. There's no point. There's nothing to be gained. Let's just do quick saves. And pretend like they're hard saves. Take it. Take it. Shake it, baby. Don't break it. Ugh. Let me through. Let's get our goddamn chicken and do a quick save. And then think about wrapping this up for the day, because...
Yeah. See, it's why you don't count your chickens before they hatch, chat. That's my favorite. I like how edgy some of these edits are.
Well, they knew that they were evil embodied. They knew that they were knights in Satan's service when they made this game, so it's apropos that they all went for...
They're evil and they love it. You've got to respect that.
Alright, cool. Let's just drop the maps here. I don't give a shit anymore. Or not the maps, the orders.
Yeah. Oh, they're so tiny as well when you drop them.
Anything else? Might as well drink up. Ah, refreshing. So the rubber chicken has complete different attacks than the sword does, by the way. Which is why I died in that combat encounter. Okay. Now let's get off of the screen before we die. Easier said than done.
Yeah. I'm probably wrong, but part of me just thinks there must be some way to take care of these ranged enemies.
You assume too much of this game.
I know. Wing. Oh wow, that was really powerful.
2 hits, yeah. Look, magic pixel, baby.
Okay.
I want to get through this enemy gauntlet. I don't know why.
Yeah.
But I feel compelled.
This is the right way, as far as I can see.
I do like how this is completely, and you know what, actually almost reasonably possible to find by accident. So someone could just get this far and like, oh, I accidentally have the best weapon in the game now.
I mean, it sucks. It's still not any good at all. Just because the combat system is so wonderful.
Yes.
It'd be like giving you the golden gun in a game where you can't aim up or down and every enemy is vertical. cool. I jumped into it because I forgot I was sprinting instead of walking.
Oh, I will say it does look like the chicken has a longer range than its hitbox looks like physically. Okay, not that long, but like, yeah, see.
Awesome. Don't mind if I do. All right, which way would we go from here? Just out of curiosity.
Okay, let me... Yeah.
Slime Generator in chat says Rich Whitehouse having his Oppenheimer moment, seeing his emulator make this game accessible to the public. Fuck! I shouldn't have looked away. You know, I'm done playing this for tonight. We'll just load the quick save when we,
Yeah.
I'm gonna go what's in front of the screen for this. I'm in awe.
You should be
of
holding
this.
a chicken.
Yeah. And here I have the most powerful weapon of all time. A whoopee cushion. This game has sent me to depths I did not realize.
Quentin MacLeod. And with him went the hopes and dreams of the Jetters.
Yeah, whatever.
Well,
I have a migraine after that.
Yeah. We'll get really granular into it, but even for this early in this style of game design for fixed camera angles pre-rendered, they do like every mistake in the book.
It really is a how-to in how not to make a game. And how in this genre, in this style and perspective and control schema of game, how to make every single wrong decision in the process of doing that. I really can't think of a singular thing this game does correctly, and that's impressive. I literally can we think of? I know we have the say something nice button, and the bell was only rung once today, mercifully.
No, we rung it twice. I rung it at you at one point just to piss you off.
Yeah.
But really, think about it. Did they make a single conscious design decision correctly in this?
The only thing I think of is that it has save state. It has quick save with 5 slots.
Yeah, but it's hidden.
Only bit.
Yeah. Not the way it's implemented.
Yeah, I mean, I'm
very,
stretching.
Yeah.
I'm stretching to find something.
Yeah, at the very least, it does not have set save points or limited resources on that side. That's probably too early for that. But you know, saying like, hey, you can only save on these set locations if you find a save point. At least it's not that.
We just did it. We just said something nice right there.
But
that's
again,
really the only thing I got.
It's implemented in such a weird way.
It doesn't crash yet.
Yeah. It's the funny thing with some games, like even
I think that was the Jaguar CD's job, was to crash it for you.
There are some games that are functional on a technical aspect and playable, and that doesn't really save it from its downcomings.
Yeah, this is probably among the worst video games ever commercially released. I feel very confident in making that assertion, even this early on. Folks, that'll do it for the first episode of however many of Highlander, The Last of the MacLeods. Thank you for suffering along with us. Sorry. Actually, what am I fucking apologizing for? People voted for this. Our patrons voted for this game. It's their fucking fault.
Are you not entertained?
We will see this through to completion. We will finish this against better judgment, against the advice of our doctors.
Yeah.
Okay. I just need to shake the cobwebs loose. Okay, Cass, you're here. You're in it. You're in the moment. Thanks for watching, folks. We hope you found some amusement in our pain. If you like what you saw, keep tuning in. We put on shows a lot. Let's go over our stream schedule, why don't we? Are we doing anything tomorrow, Johnny?
No, next week.
Copy. All right, so this Saturday, the 31st, Games from a Hat, GameCube Edition. Sharky leading the charge on that one. I believe Sid in attendance as well. Random GameCube games you've never played before that you're playing based on title alone. Hopefully there's no Highlander games in that hat.
I don't think so.
Monday is our casual Monday time slot where we play games that aren't necessarily bad. And boy howdy, I'm looking forward to that one this week. I need some sort of release. An excuse to play something half decent. Tuesday the 3rd, this is June 3rd, mind you, Resident Evil Gaiden for the Game Boy Color will be played through in honor of its anniversary, of its bad game birthday, etc. And then Thursday, the 5th of June, we will get back to this. And, God willing, we complete it. If a game really is truly short and we can finish it in 2 sittings, that'd probably be ideal. Otherwise, it'll be episode 2 or 3, and we'll all be worse off for it. We'll all be lesser for it. So yeah, that's what's upcoming. That's what's on the docket at the moment. So, if you like what you saw here tonight, you might also consider joining our Discord server, discord.gg/bghof, where we congregate a community of connoisseurs to discuss these sorts of games, and in all other manner of game too, even some good game discussion there too, which I need like a palate cleanse after this for goddamn sure. Regular hangouts, Bad Game Club, Castlevania The Adventure, wrapping up for this month. We'll have to pick a new game for a new month. So maybe Highlander Last of the MacLeods. Imagine making people play this game. We're not that cruel and unusual, folks. Don't worry. Hey, if you really like what you saw here tonight, like really, really like it, you might consider financially supporting us, becoming a subscriber on Twitch, a Patreon pledger even, or a member on YouTube. Any or all of the above will grant you access to the Patreon Saints channel over on that Discord server, where we run polls, like the one that determined that we had to play Highlander: The Last of the MacLeods. You can make suggestions for what games you want to see us play. You help steer the direction of the show in there, as well as gaining access to exclusive content, VODs, podcast episodes, and the like. If you can't financially support us at this juncture, we completely understand. Consider instead sharing videos from our suggested viewing playlist over on YouTube. 20 handpicked episodes that we think make for solid onboarding onto the show of ours. Or maybe, someone who's a huge Highlander mark, and they'll get a kick out of this one for sure. The extended lore, the extended universe, the adventure unseen. Or maybe you'll ruin it for them. Maybe you'll finally disavow them of this stupid franchise that they like so much. We leave it to your discretion, dear viewer. It almost feels like criminal to raid someone after this, I almost feel like we're sending them such negativity that we're just gonna taint their stream somehow. If we send folk from here to there. Yeah, I don't really see anyone I feel particularly compelled to. Actually, you know what? Macaw playing high-powered fantasy Amiga adventures. The Amiga sucks, so, fuck it. Send folk that way. We'll do that. We'll send folk Macaw 45's way. Let them know the Bad Game Hall of Fame sent you. Let them know that you just finished watching someone playing fucking Highlander: The Last of the MacLeods. See if they have any idea what game that is, and so on, so forth. I'm drained. Thanks again, folks. I have been Cassidy MacLeod.
I've been Rubber Sharky.
And I've been Scottish person convincingly playing an Egyptian, Johnny Baghead.
Very good. Unlike this game, which is very bad. Who knows? Maybe after the 3rd episode, 4th episode, 5th episode, 6th episode of this game, maybe I'll come around on it. Maybe there might be time. It might be able to save itself. I somehow doubt it, though. Bye!
Good night, everybody.
Toodles.